Hey everybody, good afternoon. All right, I'm back at it again. Um, First, the most important bit of business, and that is had, I believe, 35 people on the live stream just before this video, and I want to apologize to you. Um, I firmly believe in at least trying to properly end a live stream, but that was a very abrupt ending. And the reason why that was an abrupt ending was because I received a ride request on Lyft 51 minutes away. So I knew I was going to LAX. At the time, I was in Van Nuys, and I was looking for a good trip like that so I could put the money in the gas tank, and it worked out great. That trip ultimately paid me $46. So but those of you who are drivers out there, you know how the struggle is. But see, because I focus on XL trips, I receive I believe it's $1.16 a mile for the trips that I do. So, because I don't do, unless I'm in an emergency situation like I was a couple of days ago. I don't do standard lift trips. I don't do pools or anything like that. Um, so yeah, I was able to put a good amount of gas in the car, and then after I made that trip, I had to go to the gas station, of course. Hey, Bobby Z, no problem. Thank you so much for asking me to add you. I look forward to seeing your videos when you get on board and you start making them. Your channel is really easy to find too, so looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. Anyway, yeah. So after I dropped the gentleman off, put it in the last trip mode. Um, went went to put the gas in the vehicle, and then I decided to look for a Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna see. Because last night I went to 4 Popeyes last night. I was on a field trip trying to find this sandwich, and everyone was sold out. So I came in, I found one Popeyes. I'll show it to you. Where we got? Okay, so that's the Popeyes there. This one is located. It's on, what's this street here? Rosecrans Avenue and Prairie. So, all right, Rosecrans Avenue and Prairie. And this one is interesting because it is one of the few Popeyes that does not have a drive-through. So everyone has to walk in this one. And there was a line walking inside the place. I'm like, okay, he must got the chicken because there's a line to get inside the spot. So I sit in the car for about 10 minutes to wait for the line to dissipate, and I walk inside, and the manager comes out, and the manager says there are no more chicken sandwiches available. And so then one of the associates at the front receipt line, she says, correction, we have 2 more left, we just made them. And so there was a lady already at the register, and the associate asked her, how many sandwiches did you want? And she said, oh, I'll take 2. And then all the sandwiches were gone. I was the next person in line. I'm like, okay, this always happens to me. I'm trying to get the spicy version of the sandwich to see what it's like. So at first I was just gonna say, fine, I'll just get a lemonade and that's it. But I went on ahead and I got the 3-piece tenders with red beans and rice, a biscuit, and a sweet tea. And the sweet tea was completely flat. It wasn't even good. It I should have just got a water. That's how bad the tea was. The biscuit wasn't nice and buttery like it was at the one on King and Western. See, I'm telling y'all, the one at King and Western, they know how to do it. So this one right here, I don't know. Because get this, I was actually on my way to Wendy's to try their chicken sandwich because Wendy's is trying to get into the conversation, talking about how good their chicken sandwich is. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go down to the Wendy's I know of, and get it and do an apples to apples comparison and see. But I'm full now. I'm not hungry for the sandwich. I'll probably get it later tonight when this is all done. It's done its job and whatnot. So I'm sitting in the Popeyes eating the chicken, and then um, a minor argument begins over a chicken. So, first of all the people who are inside the Popeyes that are getting the chicken sandwiches, they're ordering like 6, 8, and 10 at a time. One person ordered 20 of those sandwiches. I'm like, really? Literally, it was the only thing going out the door. All the rest of the chicken was just sitting there getting old. And the reason why I order chicken strips is because, unlike the regular chicken that they cook and keep under the heat lamps, chicken strips, they have to make them fresh because they never know when people are going to make them. This particular Popeyes, they had a team of people dedicated just for the sandwiches, and they were whipping those they were whipping those sandwiches out like there was no tomorrow. Um, it's amazing. So one thing I was told, something I got from the manager, was what you do is you come in when the restaurant first opens. When the restaurant first opens, they'll have plenty of them because apparently that's what they do. They get restocked for the sandwiches, um, in early in the morning. So if you go in the morning to get one, that's the time to do it. So I'm like, okay, great. I'll see if I can, because I want to try the spicy flavor. I know what the regular one tastes like. Now I got to get the spicy, and hopefully I'll get this out of my system so I can move on to other food. Okay, I want to know when they're going to get some more on the menu. No question about it. It has prominent placement right in the middle. They have the computerized screens, the LED flat TV screens, and so they have one screen on left side, one screen in the middle, and one screen right smack in the middle is talking specifically about the chicken sandwiches. And if your Popeyes is like the ones here in LA, they added menu item numbers. So number 9 is the classic chicken spicy sandwich, and number 10 is the spicy chicken sandwich. You can get it as a sandwich by itself, or you can get a combo. You get the combo. I believe it comes with one side when you get the combo. But it is a regular item, because I'm certain that if this were a for a limited time only kind of deal, they would say a limited time only. This chicken sandwich, if they keep making the sandwich the way they're doing it, and the taste is consistent, the reason why this sandwich is so popular, it's so important to Popeyes, is because this sandwich alone could cause them to increase the number of franchises they have, which means more money. So, unless they're going to run into some serious production problems with the sandwich, meaning killing chickens in order to make the sandwiches. Let's keep it real. You got to kill a bunch more chickens for us to eat them. They're looking at a cash cow here, and they want to milk this one for all they can. So that's that. So I'll see if I can get a chicken sandwich, a spicy chicken sandwich tomorrow, because I really want to try that sandwich. Right now, I'm kind of on it with this. I want one of those sandwiches, because like right now, like for example, for drinks, I'm on, what is that thing called? Snapple Fruit Punch. It is so hard to find Snapple Fruit Punch. I love Snapple Fruit Punch. Snapple Fruit Punch right now is I'm just completely and totally addicted to it. I see the Snapple Fruit Punch. I don't know what's gonna make me run faster. A beetle flying through the sky or a Snapple Fruit Punch. But I love that Snapple Fruit Punch. I like the Snapple apple, but for some reason when I had that fruit punch, I just went crazy. So yeah. And like there's a Chevron I like to go to. They give you two for $3.99. The 32-ounce size. This is a great deal. So I'm used to paying $3.99 for one 32-ounce bottle. They're giving you two for $3.99. So I try to go to that Chevron whenever I can. You know, put gas in the car, in the truck, and I get my two Snapples. So I'm very happy with that. What else did I want to talk about? Okay, so yeah, I did my apology. I talked about the sandwich. I think I'm good to go. But there was another reason why I logged on. I can't remember what it is right now. Let me see. Seashell, hey you. What's going on? How are you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you for coming in and checking me out. I appreciate it. I truly do. I gotta call you. We gotta talk. We gotta chop it up. See how you doing out there in Baltimore. And be more. All right. Let's see. Yeah, when it came down to it, I had to run away because look, I thought I logged off of Lyft. Sometimes I log off and it doesn't fully log off, and then it comes back. So I'm like, man, you know, but it said 51 minutes. I'm like, I'm not turning that one down. I'd be crazy to turn it down. Because either they were going to LAX because that's how long it would take to get there, or they were going to somewhere in Orange County. But one of the two trips was going to pay me some money. So I'm like, yeah, I need to go and get that taken care of. Mr. Schneider, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it so very much. I'm doing all right, Shell. I'm doing well. I'm doing good. Wait till Big Chicken Shack comes to LA. It's all over then. Shack. He calls himself Big Chicken Shack. I didn't know that. Man, that's some serious marketing if that's the case. I did not know. No, someone asked me a question earlier if I'm still in Florida. No, I'm not in Florida. I'm back in California, back in Los Angeles, and I'm currently driving on Lyft. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my slow days. Some days I take those days off, and some days I work. Speaking of which, I think that's the other reason why I wanted to log in. As y'all know, I've been trying my hardest to find a strategy that will work best for me. So this is how I think the strategy is going to go until I get it squared away. After doing this thing we call rideshare since April the 3rd, 2016, 3.5 years, my biggest problem, the biggest obstacle I've had by far has been the gas. It is the one thing that I simply was unprepared for. The constant need to pay for the gas. You're driving, everything is great, you're on a good clip, and then ding 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 ding, low fuel comes on. You're stopped, you're dead in the water, you can't drive. And it's even more cute with this vehicle because this truck gets 17 miles to the gallon, 18 miles to the gallon. And so in instances where I thought I would do well, I'm worried if I'm going to actually stop on the road with a client because I'm running out of gas. So, but one thing I like about this truck, and the reason why I'm going to keep it for as long as I can, is because I'm making real money with this truck. I'm getting first of all, I'm isolated away from the shared rides. I'm isolated away from low-paying trips. It's $1.16 a mile, and I think 20-something cents a minute. Anyway, all I know is when I look at my odometer, if I drive 100 miles, I've usually made about $145. If I drive 200 miles, I've made about between $275 and $300. You know, psychologically, I'm comfortable with that because I'm generating what I absolutely need. And I'm in a position where if I do the time correctly, I can make 350 a day with this truck. I can do that. However, on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 350 is usually difficult to achieve because the demands are so much more lower on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Mondays, I have to be available to get those airport trips out the way, and then it slows down. You know, clubs aren't open at night and all like that. And then on top of that, you have that 10-hour limit that Lyft imposes on you. You have a 12-hour limit imposed on you by Uber. Before, when there were no time limits, oh, I could tell you absolutely I would make $350 because I would work until the $350 was made. I would literally work from 4 in the morning until midnight. Um, and I would make it happen. I will pull as much money as I can. But now with the 10 hours, I've had to be strategic and say, hey, I have to pick a 12-hour block of time that I'm cool with. I have found that the best hours to work is between 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. During that 12-hour block of time, that's when the vast majority of people who are going to use the service will actually be awake and available to use the service. It's great to catch the airport people. It's great to try to get the clubbers and everything, but you're going to have those gaps in the middle. But doing it with XL is a little different because with XL, I've got three classes of people that want this vehicle. Number one, people that have groups of folk. You know, you can pack 6 people in this truck, and so they need the vehicle. They're actually saving money by getting an XL than they are getting an X because in most cases with an XL, everyone is splitting the fare. They're hey, Venmo me this, you know, Cash App me that, you know, PayPal me this, send me this, or whatever. They're all breaking up the cost of the ride, so it's actually cheaper to get an XL than it is to get two X's when they're moving around. The second group of people that I've found that I'm picking up are people that need to move lots of stuff. I'll have one guy who's going to the airport. He's by himself, but he has 2 large, oversized items, and I have to flip down the third row seats in order to put it in the vehicle. And a caravan won't do it for him. When they see I have a Yukon XL, he's gonna wait 20 minutes if that's what it takes because he knows that I can accommodate the luggage he has with no problem. Or you may have someone where I'm picking up 6 people from the airport, and Paul Mooney, you've got 6 people, and each person has 2 pieces of luggage. You know, a large piece of luggage and a smaller piece of luggage, like, you know, one of those super large suitcases that you have to check in to the cargo hold, and then you have the one piece of luggage. And 6 people, you've got to fit in this vehicle, and this truck can do it comfortably. That's why I have it on rideshare. Actually, now with the new Expedition and the new Lincoln Navigator, those are the biggest things you can get because inside, hey, the numbers don't lie, and when you look inside, it doesn't lie either. The Navigator and the Expedition, those vehicles are larger than this generation Yukon. Now, the K2s are bigger than what I have, but I'm expecting the T1s to be even bigger than the K2s, and those are nice. I already got my name picked out for that truck. Hey, I get one. It's called the Terminator. I already got it picked out. T1, come on, you can't avoid that one right there. So yeah, Terminator. That's that. When I heard they call it the T1XX, here we go. Just got to decide which one you like the most. The Escalade, the Yukon, or the Suburban. All right, and the third person who is going to order an XL is the person who absolutely positively wants a large vehicle to be comfortable in. They want a larger, more comfortable trip. This is someone who before Uber Comfort came about, they said, "Hey, I want a bigger vehicle. I want to guarantee I'm going to get a bigger vehicle. I'm going to order Uber XL, or I'm going to order a Lyft XL," because they know either a minivan is going to come to them, or a full-size SUV, or even a mid-size SUV they can cover, but they're more comfortable than any sedan in the X category will be, but they won't pay for or a Lux or a what is it? A Lux or a whatchamacallit? What's the other one? They won't pay for a Lux, a Lyft Lux or Uber Select. Um, Now, I am not ignoring you. I am not ignoring you. I'm being focused so I can completely answer the question. I don't know who Paul Mooney is. You've asked me that question twice, and I've told you twice, I don't know who Paul Mooney is. So, since I don't know who Paul Mooney is, please educate me. Write in your comments to tell me who Paul Mooney is. And if I need to discuss who Paul Mooney is, we can talk about Paul Mooney. But I don't know who Paul Mooney is. I did say the name sounds familiar, but I don't know who Paul Mooney is. Brian, what's up, man? How you doing? I saw your comment there. What I'm trying to do, because I watched, thanks Rideshare Helper, I appreciate that. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to complete a train of thought before I go into another train of thought, because I watch my live streams, and what will happen is in that live stream, the I'll shift my attention all around the place, and I won't complete my train of thought. So, I have to learn how to manage, my thoughts, my attention as I move forward here. I can't necessarily answer the questions the instant they come on board. I want to make sense of this whole deal. Now I do remember this Paul Mooney story. Actually, I had a client in the car yesterday. She's VIP, and we were having a really, really good conversation. I mean, we just hit it off instantly, and she mentioned Paul Mooney, showed me his face. I didn't know who he was. I saw his face. I'm like, okay, great, what's going on? And she told me all about the issues going on with Richard Pryor's son. That story. But here's the deal. This is Ride with Peterson. And that is a subject I'm not going to cover because I don't know anything about it other than what was told to me. And that's it. So I hope I answered your question. Yes, we're going to get another. I'm going to get another one of those sandwiches and go from there. So that's that. Let's see. I'm doing well. Do you get a lot of Select? I had the BMW. I depended on Select. I thought Select was the greatest thing in the world because Select is what helped me keep that car, because the market for Lux was almost non-existent. People just weren't ordering Lux unless they specifically wanted an Audi A8, a BMW 7 Series, a Mercedes S-Class, a Lexus LS. What else qualified? Big luxury cars, a Jaguar XJL. I don't know if the Cadillac CT6 was on the list. It probably is. But you didn't get the rides from Lux, and you didn't get the rides from Black. You got the rides from Select. And it helped out because I would routinely get a ride from the Beverly Center down to South Orange County. Well, when Uber was in the planning stages of Uber Comfort, I was invited to one of those a panel, one of those group panels where you have a group of other people and you talk about services or so like that. And they were telling us about this new service that they were going to offer, and the operating name they had at the time was called Uber Plus. At least I think it was called Uber Plus. And they kept telling us they wanted Uber Black drivers. But they focused on me in particular because I had a 2016 BMW 7 Series and I was on Uber Select. And when they found out about that, because everybody else had an SUV, so they were all Uber Black and Uber SUV, but I was the only one who was Uber Black and Uber Select, and I had a 7 Series. And so they came to me. I mean, I had like 2 or 3 people on me, and they were like, "Hey, we're introducing a new service, and tell us what you think about it." And they were giving us all these charts that compared Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Select, and then this Uber Plus was in there. And they were saying, "Hey, well, would you be willing to take this ride, these ride requests?" And I said, "No, I wouldn't be willing to do it, because if I took those ride requests, my primary reason for having the car in the first place, that business would evaporate. There would be no reason for people to want to take Uber Select anymore, because you could get a more comfortable car for less money than it took to get Uber Select. The only reason for Select was because you wanted a luxury branded car. But really, the reason why people took Select was because they wanted a more comfortable car, not necessarily a luxury car. If they wanted a luxury car, they would do Uber Black. And so they were trying to convince me to, "Hey, would you do it? Would you do this or so for that rate or so?" And I'm like, "No." And sure enough, it was released as Uber Comfort. And I already knew. I said, "You know what? If I had the BMW, I would not have been able to keep the vehicle, because I would not make enough money, because Uber Comfort just doesn't pay enough." That was until I actually started taking Uber Comfort ride. Uber does is the rate is a little bit more than Uber X. Like, okay, Uber X is 64 cents, Uber Comfort is 68 cents. Uber X is like, what, I think 22 cents. Uber Comfort is like 26 cents, something like that. Some minuscule numbers, they jack it up. But there is one big important difference, and that is Uber is giving up $2.15 of the booking fee to the driver. And I did some math, and at least when it comes to Uber X, as long as the trip is 25 minutes or less, the amount of money that I'm making per trip is on par with what I make in this vehicle as Uber XL. Now, I won't make as much as Uber Comfort, as Uber Select, because Uber Select is $1.81 a mile and 30 cents a minute. But for the Uber XL rides, I've actually been happy with Comfort as long as the trip is below 25 minutes. Once it starts getting above 25 minutes, that's when I start losing money. As far as Uber Comfort as far as Uber Select is concerned, no, I'm pulling, because the truck I have, when I use my Uber Black account, and that's going to come on tomorrow, I'm pulling. When I had the BMW, I could count on 2, maybe 3 Uber Lux trips a week. I'd make total $75 off of Uber Lux. I think now the same thing is happening on Uber Comfort as well, where with Uber Select, the rides aren't there. Uber Comfort is all over the place. You do one Uber Comfort, you're getting 10 of them. It especially in Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach, they love Uber Comfort down there. And so, it's kind of frustrating, because the problem I have with Uber Comfort is they are given the same treatment. The customers are given the same treatment and expectations as if they are given a Uber Black ride. You see customer preferences. And to me, it's kind of like an insult when I see that. I'm figuring, okay, why do you need to tell me in the app what your preferences are? It's like, okay, you don't want to communicate with the driver anymore. If you want air conditioning, say, hey, could you turn the air up some more? It's hot back here. Could you turn the heat up? It's a little too cool. Could I have an aux cord so I can listen to my music? Is it okay to roll down the windows? The thing about rideshare and all this thing is supposed to work. You know, that's an element of this that I actually like, being able to figure out people and see, you know, what is it they want, what they don't want. So there'll be some people that get in the car, they'll assume that they can't listen to the music, and then all of a sudden I make their ride that much more better when I just hold up the aux cord. I said, you know what, you're a real cool person. I get real great energy off of you here. Rock on with your music. Do whatever you want to do. You can even play with the volume if you want. Oh my goodness. I'm one of these days I'm gonna make a video. I'm showing customers who are actually in the truck, so y'all can see just how fun it can be. The reason why I don't do it though is because I don't want to deal with copyright issues and, you know, the licensed music and model releases and all that stuff. I don't want to deal with that drama. But I don't know. One of these days I might let it slide. iPhone. Everybody has an iPhone in LA, and I've been doing this for 3.5 years. When you add up the number of rides I've done on Uber and Lyft, between all three things, I've had almost 10,000 rides, and I've had probably 10 customers with an Android device. And of those 10 customers with an Android device, I've had 3 with USB-C. So no, when they say aux cord, they really mean, do you have an iPhone cable? It ain't an aux cord, it's an iPhone cable, a lightning iPhone cable. I've only had one person, and that was way back in 2016, that needed a 30-pin connector. Nobody has a 30-pin connector anymore. I don't even keep that anymore. But I got the regular USB cable right here. You probably can't see it. There we go. Well, no. Okay, so you got the regular USB cable right there, and then this one is the USB-C cable, which is reversible and easy to go in, and then this one is for the aux cable. And forgive me, it's all frayed and messed up, but you know what? It's gonna work until it finally breaks apart. I'm down to the red and white. I paid $28 for this cable. I'm getting every dollar out of it. So, you know, that shows you Apple's cables can't stand up. I already got replacements in mind, but I got to make the money to pay for those cables first. So yeah. Man, I lost my train of thought talking about the cables. Okay, Peterson, I haven't watched in a while. What happened to the MTA bus? I need you to elaborate for me when you say what happened to the MTA bus. No, I'm gonna get another cable, because the cable is frayed down to the it's frayed. The white is gone. The insulation is gone. It's down to the component cables at this point, and it's going to be a safety hazard. I'm just going to replace the cable altogether. But I'm not going to buy the Apple cables anymore. I found these braided cables. They are splendid. I love them, and I'm going to get those because they can stand up to the issues of coming in here. And plus, the cables are like 8 feet long, so they'll reach all the way in the back really easy. I already know which cables on the cable, and another lightning cable, all 3. Let me see. Wire tape. Okay. Yeah. Aux cord. What kind of cord? Okay. George Schneider asked, does the Acura ILX qualify for Uber Select and Uber Black? It does not qualify for Uber Black. I can tell you that for a fact, because the Acura RLX, for all intents and purposes, is a Honda Civic with lots of lipstick on it. You know, they make the seats a little bigger. They put slightly better leather interior on it. They put an ELS sound system in it, different wheels, different front end, different back end, a little bit more sound charge you. about $8,000 more for the what's basically a Honda Civic. Um, it does not qualify. It qualifies for Select, but I personally would not use that car for Select because my thing is, if I want a Honda Civic, I'll order a Honda Civic. Um, I think personally, this is just me personally, using an Acura ILX on Select cheats the customer. Now, if you're comfortable using the Acura RLX, go for it because Uber and Lyft they're comfortable letting you use it on the premium platform. But I'll tell you this: the first and last Uber Select ride that I took as a rider, um, the guy picked me up in a 2012 Acura RDX, which is basically a Honda CRV. And I was very disappointed in the vehicle. However, and I remember the guy. I remember everything about the trip. So I'm not gonna name who it was, but he was. The service was great. The vehicle was spotless on the inside. He provided mints. He gave me a bottle of water. Very good driver. Nice smooth music in the background. No hip hop or anything. And he asked me many times, was I happy with the trip, and did I do a good job? And he helped me with my bag, which he didn't have to do. I didn't tell him I was a driver. So yeah, I went on ahead and gave did the 5 stars, and did my typical $10 tip, because I always tip $10 for my riders. Whenever I'm a rider, I always do whatever the fare is plus $10. That's just my standard. And it was there. But after that, I made the decision I'm never going to do Select again because, let's face it, I was feeling special because I was driving the BMW 7 Series. And I figured, well, come on, if you're going to do Select, at least pick me up in a 5 Series. But I wasn't going to be mean about it and critical. I wasn't going to be that critical. I wasn't going to take it out on him on the fare, the tip, and his rating. I gave him 5 stars. He got his money, and I gave him a $10 tip. So that was that. The Acura MDX, however, yes, you can use the Acura MDX on Select. It's there, but I'm gonna tell you, me personally, this is based on what I've experienced and what I've been through. In my opinion, get a Chevy Suburban and be done with it, because no one will turn down a Suburban. A Suburban almost always qualifies for anything and everything, and you can make up your mind how you want to operate that Suburban. Some people may disagree with me and say you're crazy. You should be getting a 2010 Prius and go from there. But see, here's the thing. I need that emotional and logical gratification after I've done a trip, that I at least don't feel like I'm losing, and that I feel like I'm in control. And with this vehicle, I get that. I'm able to make exactly what I need to make. If I operate this vehicle properly, I know what I'm able to do with this truck. And I figure like this: if I can at least make $350 a day, every day, consistently, I'm a happy camper. I'm all right. I need $100 for gas. I need $100 for the truck itself to pay for it, because I pay $500 a week for this truck. I need $100 for me, and then I need $50 to pay for the taxes. $350. I do that, I'm okay. When it's less than $350, then I got problems to deal with. So that goes into what my this whole thing was for the whole deal. The plan now is to work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the gas. Put the gas in the truck that I need, so that when Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday comes up, I can work all day, nonstop, uninterrupted, and I have plenty of gas. I have plenty of money to make the money. I need to do that for 2 weeks. Once I do that for 2 weeks, then I'm comfortable going to working and getting paid once a week. Right now, I'm too dependent on getting paid every day. And it has been something that I've been chasing for the last 3 years. And so I'm thinking if I can just simply go back to where I'm able to work hard and get paid once a week, then I'm all right. So hey, then I get paid direct deposit. I pay off my credit card in full. The credit card is sitting there ready to go, so I can use it as I need to refuel and keep on going, and I'll be completely focused. And then we'll see how it goes. So in about 2 weeks, I'll let you know how it goes. So far, the plan is working out okay. I was able to get excellent rest yesterday. I'm able to take it easy today because I've designated Tuesdays and Wednesdays as basically my slow day. I can basically screw off these days. Tuesdays and Wednesdays will be the days where I will be on the internet talking, um, you know, start going back to the gym again, working out. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm focused. I have to be because I've lost too much stuff. So I'll let you know in a couple of weeks how this strategy works. I'm trying, really am. I'm trying, but I've got to stop this. All right. Let me see. That was another question that came through. Let me see. Nissan Murano, your thoughts. I'll get to you in 1 second, Shell. But you know what? I'll tell you this really quick about the Nissan Murano. I love the way it looks. Oh, the styling of the Nissan Murano is striking. It has a lot of space. Nice ride. I actually drove one. It was a rental, and I liked it. It was quiet at good power. I think it has a CVT transmission, so it does all the issues with the CVT transmission. But I love the way it looks. It has great styling, and it is a vehicle that I would seriously consider. However, at this point in my life and dealing with rideshare, more than likely the only vehicle I will consider buying from this point moving forward will be a GMC Yukon XL, a Suburban, or an Escalade ESV. I'm more than likely going to end up getting the Yukon XL SLT, and I'm specific with that model because of how it's equipped, but also because the SLT has the 5.3 liter V8 engine, so it's smaller, it uses less fuel, and it's a lower theft risk than getting the 6.2 in the Denali or the Escalade. I personally prefer the Escalade. No, sorry. I personally prefer the Yukon XL Denali. I love the Denalis, but um, you know, I really don't need 420 horsepower. I really don't need the fuel economy hit you're going to take on it, because if I had that 6.2 V8, based on how I've been driving this truck, I would have ran out of fuel 3 times. I would have stopped 3 times. So I'm like, nah, the 5.3 is just fine. I don't, when I had the BMW, I was a speed demon. I was driving like crazy with that car. This truck here, it's a truck. You gotta adjust your driving. So now I'm back to driving like Moses in this truck. And I like driving the truck. It's cool. I enjoy it. So I'm like, hey, I'm looking. My next vehicle and probably moving forward will be these big full size extended length SUVs. Is what I want. And hey, as long as I can get it in a drive through, and as long as I can find a parking spot for it, then this is what I'm gonna have. Yeah, your Murano is awesome though. If it were oh, that's what you got a Murano. You replaced the Equinox with the Murano. I thought, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, the rear lights look different or so. But yeah, you got a good vehicle. It's a hot seller with Nissan right now. It's a great looking truck. It's got lots of space inside. I like it. It's very comfortable, really good. You look like a Murano lady. That's good. I'm very happy for you. You got the Nissan Murano. That's a good truck. I like them. I do. When I get my car review channel going, I will do a review for the Murano just for you. It's a good vehicle. I like it. Car review channel right now. I'm planning on releasing the channel in January, and I was going to debate if I was going to say anything about the channel, the name and all like that. But here's the deal: channel. I'm going to let that channel grow on its own, beginning with 0 subscribers. If you see the channel, you find it, you like it, then you'll subscribe to it on your own. I'm going to do it the hard way, which means each individual subscriber is going to be there because of their own merit, not because you decided to go over and check it out, or not because, I, had one channel and decided to rename it. So my thing is, I started with a brand new channel from 1 subscriber moving forward. That's just how I'm going to do it, because I need to know, I need that, I need that, I need that real validation to make it happen. So that's where I'm going to be with it. Let me see. Let them know boxing. Yes, health first. Absolutely. Got to do that. If a rider left cash in your vehicle, would you keep it or try to return it? Jordan, I have had riders leave cash in my car a lot. I've had riders leave wallets, cell phones, expensive sunglasses, all like that. I always return property. Always. If I see cash, I know who left it behind. I always return it. Now, there, however, is one particular circumstance in which I didn't do it because I realized that the driver left it there for me intentionally. Um, I was doing cleaning in this truck here, and there was $20 stuffed deep in the rear cushion of the passenger side seat right here. It was impossible for that money to get there. I don't know who the customer was who left it there, but it was buried deep, and you don't put it in there like that. The only other way it could have been where they did it like that intentionally is if they were using drugs in the car and they wanted to hide the evidence, and so they buried it deep in the seat. But it was the bill was folded and not rolled like you would if you're going to use some drug or so like that. Um, I don't know why a person would put the money deep in the pocket like that, but they did. Um, I don't I don't need to, if someone leaves money behind, I don't need to steal their money from them and pretend like I didn't see it. I believe in working for my money. And chances are when you return something of value like that, the customer is always going to give you some kind of a tip. They're going to say, "Hey man, thank you so much." I remember one time, um, there was a hedge fund manager who he had bought a brand new iPhone, and this iPhone was unlocked. It had no password, nothing on it. It was just there, open wide in the market. And I did everything I could to return the phone to him. Eventually, he called me, and I got the phone to him, and he was so appreciative. He gave me, I think, about $10 bringing it back. I was just down the street or so. But the funny thing was, a month later, he called me. I had the BMW at the time. He called me and he says, "Hey, I'm looking for a driver to do a round trip for me. I need a driver to go to LAX, pick up my family, and bring them from LAX to Santa Barbara." And so I told him, well, for that particular round trip, and these were back in the days when I was cheap, I said, I'll do it for you for $400. 200 up, 200 back. He said, "Okay, great." And so, I went, picked up his family. It was, his sister, her husband, and their 2 kids. And we had to take PCH going up because there was a major accident on the 405 freeway, and all lanes in both directions were shut down. So we could not take the 405. We had to take PCH. And as we were on our way up, the little girl, she got sick. She actually vomited. And I had my baby wipes from my days as a bus operator. I still keep baby wipes even to this day. I got plenty of baby wipes in the car. And I had the Wi-Fi, so they were able to be entertained with the Wi-Fi or so. But the mother slash sister, she was so appreciative that I was there to take care of her and her family. That I got the $200 plus I got a tip. I don't remember how much the tip was though. But and then after them up and took them back, and I got the fare for that or whatever. The thing is this: when you do the right thing, you benefit when you need to benefit from it. It makes no sense to keep something that isn't yours. And it's not yours. That's the thing. It's not yours. Someone leaves something in the car, return it if you can. Do the best you can. Right now I've got a pair of sunglasses in here that belongs to a female customer, but I don't know which customer it was, but she left the sunglasses here. There was something else. There was another pair of sunglasses that was left a couple of years ago in the car by an Asian customer. He never called me back to get his glasses. Customers leave all kinds of stuff behind. Phones are almost always returned because usually the owner will call and they'll get their phone back. But to answer your question, if a customer leaves anything in the car, I do everything I can to return it as soon as possible. I remember one time I waited 8 hours to return a cell phone to a guy who lived in either it was Thousand Oaks or Hidden Hills, up in that area near Calabasas, because he was totally drunk. I couldn't call him because I didn't know what his name was, because he used one of those bogus names in the app. But when I returned his phone to him, he gave me $100 for returning his phone. He asked me, where are you? I said, I camped out about half a mile away from your house, so I wouldn't have to drive all the way from LA back up here to get it to you. I felt it was best to just simply sleep in the car and wait for you. And he says, oh man, you didn't have to do that. I'm gonna make it worth your while. Thank you so much. 10 minutes after he called me, he had his phone and put $100 in my pocket. So you do the right thing, it comes back to help you in a big way. All right, let's see. Mr. Peterson, Uber Select is Uber Select is closed in LA. Do you know how long it will be closed? Oh man. If Uber Select is closed in Los Angeles, I had no idea. Uber Select is closed in Los Angeles because there's no market for it anymore. Basically, it doesn't make sense. But you had people who went and bought vehicles specifically for Uber Select, and now it's closed. They're not giving you any incentive to really do Select anymore. That's so disgusting, man. That is really, I'm telling you, people, whoever is running rideshare, here's the deal. Uber and Lyft, here's what's going on. They're cutting the rates that the drivers are paid. But I can guarantee you, they're not cutting that booking fee. They're not cutting the booking fee. And they're not reducing those commissions. In fact, they're probably going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to raise your commission from 25% to 27%. Because what they want to do is they want to increase volume. See, when they drop the prices, their volume increases. They're making more money because they're getting more bookings every time they charge. They're getting that $2.50 for the booking fare. The booking fee. They're getting it for every single trip. Where is? And this is why I got to get my other phone turned back on, because I need to be able to pull up the Rider app and tell y'all what is going on here. But everything is on that phone right now. I don't have a way. Well, I think I do. Let me see. Man, that is awful to hear that. It is truly awful. I'm gonna do something real quick. Man, all my phones are going dead. Okay. Give me just a second here while I get this thing going. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna fire up the Uber. Oh, Kristen Gillibrand has dropped out the presidential race. Well, hey, they're gonna start dropping out eventually. Oh boy, they're gonna have to. 20 people can't be the president. Only one person can be the president. Where is that Uber app? I know it's in here. I haven't used this phone in so long. Here we go. Uber. Driver booking fee is 75 cents. Driver needs a booking fee too. I was thinking of getting an MDX, but now I can't. Actually, it's that you can't, it's that you shouldn't. Let me see. Okay, so right now, from where I am, I'm currently in Gardena. And if I want to go to LAX on UberX, that trip will cost me $17.04. But for Comfort, it's $20.40. It's only $3 more, so people are ordering a Comfort. A pool trip to LAX is $12.95. XL is $24.68. Wow, Select is all the way down here on the bottom at more. They push Select all the way down to the point. I see why Select isn't working, because of how they have this thing organized. Select is pushed all the way down here into categories where people don't order. Like they have Espanol, so they have affordable rides with Spanish-speaking drivers. And then they have Select, which is premium rides and high-end cars. Then they have Assist, and they have wheelchair assist. So they have here special assistance from certified drivers, which is the same price as an X. And then they have wheelchair accessible rides, which is $13.04. Here's the problem. The WAV rides, the wheelchair access vehicle rides, should be the same price as XL. That's what, if they want wheelchair accessible vehicles, because see, those wheelchair vehicles are expensive. They are not cheap. Those vehicles cost some money to get those to get the improvements necessary to successfully put a wheelchair inside of it. And to price a wheelchair access vehicle cheaper than an X, no one's going to do it. I wouldn't do it. But if it were priced as an XL, then I would go into getting a wheelchair access vehicle. This is the problem with corporations running stuff like this. No, they're not trying to replace Select with Comfort. What they're trying to do is what Uber is trying to do is they're trying to increase volume with these higher profit rides, because you have to remember, you have a Comfort ride that's essentially it says newer cars with extra legroom. So they're saying, hey, the car has to be a 2014 or a 2015 or newer, and they have a specified list of vehicles that qualifies for Uber Comfort, and it's only $3 more than Uber X. And so people that are going to order it, they're going to go on ahead and get those Comfort rides. So it's like, so anyway, when you look at an Uber X, okay, and you see it's $17.04, and I go on the customer side of it, okay, guess what? I'm paying $2.30 for this Uber X trip, just for the booking fee alone, and that's 100% to Uber. So, but then when you go to When you go to Uber Comfort, let's look at what the booking fee for that is. $2.99 booking fee for Uber Comfort. Then you go to Uber Pool. The booking fee for Uber Pool is the same as Uber X, $2.30. See, Uber Comfort is about getting more money for Uber because they're basically charging more money for the booking fee. Uber is dependent more so on that booking fee because it's a fixed price. They can look at that and say, okay, like I heard one person say that Uber is processing some 15 million trips a day. So if you take that and you multiply that times whatever the booking fee is, and you look at how much money Uber is making in a day just on the booking fee alone for Uber X. That is you talk about instant pay. Whew, goodness gracious. So then you look at Uber XL and you look at the booking fee for Uber XL. Mind you, booking fee for Uber XL is $2.55. But you're paying more per minute and you're paying more per mile. Some customers, they're saying, hey, they're going to take a Uber Uber X. I'm sorry, they're going to take a Uber Comfort. Some are going to take a Uber XL. They're going to compare the two and see what they can get, and they're shopping for prices. Instead of getting that accurate MDX, I recommend you get one of these Yukon XLs instead. Or you can get the accurate MDX, but forget about Uber Select because you're not going to get any rides on Uber Select. I wouldn't get rides on Uber Select. I'd be happier getting all these XL trips because XL's not going away. However, here is the rub. If they've been dropping prices on Uber X, they might do the same thing. They might start dropping prices on Uber XL as well too. And when that starts to happen, then you're going to start seeing drivers walk away, from this deal. I only drive X and Lyft Private, which is the basic Lyft rides. I only do that when I have a gas emergency. When I got $20-$30, I'm back to XL because those rides. And I hate to say it this way, but the people that are on X and XL, it ain't worth it. It's just not worth it. Let's see. Let's go all the way down to Uber Comfort Select. And let's see what the booking fee is. Booking fee for Select, $2.55. Let's look at Lux. App crashed. I'm gonna look at Lux and see what the booking fee is for Lux. Come on. Uber Lux. Okay. The minimum fare, base fare. There is no booking fee for minimum fare, base fare. There is no minimum fee when you go into the luxury categories. So there's no booking fee for those. Black SUV. There's minimum fare and base fare, so there's no booking fee. And then you go into Uber Black, base fare, minimum fare. Uber Comfort, now that I'm looking at all these numbers or so like that, Uber Comfort is designed for the benefit of Uber, to get more money for the booking fare and to basically put a squeeze on the Uber Black XL, and Uber Lux drivers. Because here's the deal: all the vehicles that are in black SUV and Lux, if it's a 2014 or newer or whatever the category is, all those vehicles qualify for Uber Comfort, and they are automatically sticking those ride requests into for Uber Black SUV, and Uber Lux riders. And because of that, they are effectively starting to treat the people that have the TCP permits the commercial insurance on their own and all that stuff, they're starting to treat them like employees. Because why would I want to pay myself Uber comfort rates when I have a vehicle that's supposed to be Uber Black SUV, and Uber Lux? It makes no sense. If I cancel on those rides, okay, I won't be deactivated, but this is what it does. It increases my cancellation rate, and now I don't qualify for gold. I don't qualify for diamond and platinum and whatever that bull they pushing out. I don't even care about those things anymore. All I want is my money for the trips, and that's it. If I don't get gold, okay, fine. And next, let's get to the next ride and keep pushing, because all that stuff is doing is manipulating the driver. That's all it is. And see, little stuff like this that the rideshare companies do, that Uber Pearl, all the stuff that these companies do is it's like, okay, yeah, we're telling you on one side that you're an independent contractor and that you can make all this money and you're your own boss, and you want to protect your independence, but then on the other side they're treating you like the stepchild in the basement. They want it both ways, and unfortunately people are getting caught in the middle of this. It's amazing. But hey, let's face it, every single person who's doing rideshare, whether you want to continue with it or not, you are making an active choice to participate in this. So you have to make a decision on how you want to participate in it. So my thing is, if you're going to participate in rideshare, you want to be in a vehicle that gives you the most flexibility. And in my opinion, getting a Suburban, a Yukon XL, a Escalade, those vehicles give you the most flexibility, because you have control, you have choice, you can make real decisions when you have a vehicle like they're stuck with UberX. And I'm going to deal with the lowest of the low when it comes to UberX, because you won't have the opportunity to do an XL trip. You won't have the opportunity to get that occasional select trip. You won't have the opportunity to get an Uber Black or an Uber Black SUV trip. If you have a Lux vehicle, well, you won't have the opportunity to get a Lux because you decided to get a Prius, because the importance was to keep your expenses as absolutely low as possible. Even if you don't make that much money, you have low expenses. My thing is, I want to make as much money as possible. I can worry about gas later, but I need to make as much money as I can. And so here I am. The opportunity came, I took it, and I feel better. I feel better because of it. I should have never gotten out of the SUVs. I should have stayed in the SUV the whole time. Hey, when I had the first SUV, it was a 2012 Suburban. What was the name of that truck? Brutus. Yes. See, this is Dino. Dino is the Yukon. Brutus was the Suburban. And so I was very happy with Brutus. Brutus was cool. What happened was, and I won't forget it, it was Halloween 2016. I'm looking forward to it, because see, here's the deal. When you're dealing with Halloween, groups, and you're just going to clean up and make money. Well, on Halloween's 31st, on 20 was going to expire. I had to find out in the app. I'm up, getting ready to go. Turn on the app. You can't log on. Why can't I log on? Because your insurance expired. Call him up. He's out of town. He comes back. He's working for 3 weeks to try to get that insurance turned back on. By the time he got it turned back on, I was signing the paperwork and picking up the keys for the BMW, because I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. I'm making no money, and it's hurting me. And so I let go of Brutus, and I got into Peterson. And Peterson was hard to turn down. The car was brand new, had no license plates on it when I got it. You can't get any newer than that. I was the only driver in that car when I had it, and it was wonderful. And the car had just been on the market for only 4 months. I was one of the first drivers in LA on rideshare with that car. So, it was a wonderful experience. I wish things had worked out differently with me and the partners, because I don't care what y'all say, they were good to me. Yeah, it was expensive, but they were good to me. All right, let's see. Let me see. Nam Lee, what's up? What's up, Nam Lee? You gonna go on me again about giving away a BMW? You know I'm not giving away a car. I can barely hang on to the one I got. How can I get? How can I give away a car? I can barely hang on to what I got now. Um, Let me see. Mr. Kim, John Kim. Mr. Kim, how's it going there? Used Suburbans and Yukons aren't cheap enough. No, they're not. And the reason why is because, first of all, Yukons and Suburbans, as they start out as expensive vehicles. You're paying nearly $60,000 for a base model. These vehicles are durable, they last, they're very popular, and they have very high resale value because people are going to buy them up. And if you think they're expensive now, just wait until these new T1 SUVs come out in a few months. The current K2s that are out, General Motors did an exceptional job on the current K2s. I love driving those. Any opportunity I can get to drive a K2, Yukon, Suburban, or Escalade, I take it, because the vehicle is just pure joy to drive. I cannot wait to see what they do with these new trucks, because the T1 trucks are exceptional. They are exceptional, and I'm like, if there's any, they're giving you a hint of what to expect from these new SUVs. They're doing some great stuff, and if General Motors, if there's anything General Motors is going to get right when it comes to this truck, they're going to get that chassis tuning right. The trucks are going to ride so good. They're going to ride so well. And I'm just curious what they're going to do with the Escalade. People are saying that Cadillac may actually put air suspension on the Escalade. I don't think GM's going to do that, because GM basically does not like air suspensions. They'll use an air spring. Lincoln or Mercedes or BMW, I don't think they're going to do it. I can't imagine driving a big SUV with California gas prices. Well, consider this. I don't know what the fill-up capacity of this tank is, because the last time I put gas in this car, I put 20 gallons in this gas tank, and it was $3.50 a gallon. So I took it to $80, and it still didn't fill up. So this is what I'm going to assume when I go to the gas station moving forward. I'm going to assume that gas is $4 a gallon, and I need 30 gallons worth of gas. Now, I know this vehicle does not have a 30-gallon tank, because the Escalade has I think it has a 30-gallon tank. So I figure at most it's going to cost me $120 on 87 fuel to fill up this truck. Now, at $120 a tank, 28, okay, there you go. I have the 5.3 Suburban Yukon SLT, but it's a 2014, not a 2015. I have because I know on the 6.2 V8s they have bigger tanks. That's going to cost $120. I can take that $120, and with that $120, I can make $400 with this truck. And ride all day without having to stop. It can be done. So, I look at it, I figure this: if I budget $100 a day for gas, gas costs me $700 a week if I do 7 days of driving, which I won't do. But I still want to budget that much money just for the fuel. And that's what I'm working towards, because once I am able to get to that point where I can consistently make $350 a day, and I can do that, and I pay off the card and keep going, then I'm all right. That's part of the reason why I need the credit card, because I kept having an issue with the gas. Well, now I have the credit card, so now it's just a matter of just going out there and making the money. how's the week so far in terms of earnings? So far, right now, I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm happy with my performance on with Lyft is on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just to make $150 a day. That's it. So you're looking by Wednesday, by midnight tonight, I would want to have $450 because I want that money for gas that will take me on to Thursday through Sunday. Because tonight I want to have a full tank of gas tonight. So when I start, I'm taking advantage of Thursday because Thursday is the beginning of the busiest day of the week, as far as rideshare and driving is concerned. Drive all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. You know, drive Monday in the morning until about maybe noon, 1 o'clock, and then just scale back. Scale back Tuesday, scale back Wednesday, and then pick it back up again and go from there. The goal is to do that for 2 weeks, and then after that, just simply depend on getting paid just once a week and let go of trying to get daily pay, because the daily pay is not working for me. It's causing too many issues. I need to worry about making sure I got enough gas to carry me through the day, and that means $700, between $500 and $700 a week I need for gasoline. If I have that put aside, I'm doing great, and then I'll be able to recover myself. Let me see. So the 2014 has a 31-gallon tank. Okay. Well, then my numbers are right. One of these days, I'll be able to tell them, I'll be able to say, hey, I need to put $150 in this tank, and I'll be able to let it go until it stops, and then I'll know exactly how many gallons. Because I don't know. Last time I put in 22 gallons, and it's still, it went from there. I can do privates with this truck because I do have a TCP on it, but here's the deal. I will do a private client on under one condition. They have to be an all-day client. I charge $600 for 14 hours of work all day. Dealing with airport pickups, airport drop-offs, those types of trips, people that only want to ride for a couple of hours and that's it. It's more for, say, for example, you have someone that wants to be picked up they want to be delivered to LAX at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they live in Westlake Village, okay? Anyone who's from Los Angeles, you know that to pick up someone from Westlake Village at 10 o'clock in the morning, to get them to the airport at 10 o'clock a.m., you have to deal with that traffic on the 405 freeway. Which means for something like that, they need to be in the car no earlier than 6 o'clock. And here's the reason why. They're telling me that their plane is taking off at either noon if it's domestic or 1 o'clock if it's international. So in order for me to get them there at 10 o'clock, I need to be given at least 2 hours head time in order to pick them up, which means I need to be at their front door. They need to be in the car, and we need to be rolling no later than 8 o'clock, because it takes time to get through all that traffic from Westlake Village all the way down to LAX to get them there on time, because they're worried about getting there on time. And they're going to ask me, well, if we want to get to the airport at 10 o'clock, what time do we need in the morning? Because we're going to be going maybe 40 miles an hour at best from your place all the way down. Well, if I have to be at their house at 8 o'clock in the morning, that means I need to leave wherever it is I am at 6 o'clock in the morning, because I have to fight traffic to get out there to that area, which means it's going to impact me in my day early on. You see where I'm getting at? Look at how much time I'm losing just to do a one-way airport trip to LAX for $80. And I have to charge $80 because I have to charge $80 because I'm competing against the bigger companies that can afford to charge more money. But because of Uber and Lyft, they charge $90 for the same trip. So I'm like, okay, I want to give them a discount or what have you. At the end of the day, yeah, I got $80, but look at how much money I've lost, and look at all the trips I've lost on rideshare to try to accommodate this one person just to give them special treatment. I did that trip enough times to know I don't want to do this anymore. The only benefit was I got the money immediately in my pocket, but I can make that with rideshare if I need to, and I don't have to worry about being there on time. So my thing is now when someone asks me for whatever my rate is, I tell them I charge $600 a day. You don't do hourly rates? No, I don't do hourly rates. I only work with people who want the car for all day, because at that point, if you want the car all day, then it doesn't matter, because I'm making more than I would make on rideshare, but you're still getting a great deal because you're not going to get $600 from anybody else out here in LA for any kind of vehicle. All day, 14 hours, unlimited driving in the state of California, $600? No. But that's what I do. So I don't solicit private rides anymore because it just isn't worth it. And then there's the other thing. I want $1 a minute for my time. That's what I want. That's what I feel I'm worth. That's what I'm going to ask for. I used to be shy about it, not anymore. And so now you have people who'll be in your vehicle and they're talking about, you know, the $10,000 deals, $100,000 deals they're making, and then they ask you how much you charge, and they say, hey, it's $50 an hour, okay? And I'm like, well, no, because already I'm losing $10 an hour working with you. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it for $50 an hour. I will tell someone in a second, you know, if $60 is unacceptable for you, then I'm not the right driver for you. And I say it every single time. I'm not the right driver for you. You know, I get it, I understand. You know, you prefer to pay $50 an hour instead of 60, and you know that is your right. But at the end of the day, I'm not the right driver for you. No, if I advertise my services, I own I own 3 domain names for driving. I own ridewithpeterson.com. I own privatedrive.com. If I market myself to the right people, I can get that $600. I can actually turn down the business. But right now, because of what's going on outside of this, I need the flexibility and forgiveness of rideshare, because I wouldn't be dressing like this if I were private. I would be back to, you know, shirt and tie and you know, professional slacks and everything. But you know, my stuff in storage, I don't have it anymore. And so for me to go back into that element right now, it's just not the time to do it. And so you know, I'm not willing to put myself out there for that. But I still have those domain names because those are very valuable domain names, not only for me but for anybody else. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to wait until the time is right to start talking about TCP work again. The reason why I like TCP work so much is because when you are an independent professional driver, you charge your own rate as you see fit. Period. You deal with the people you want to deal with. There are plenty of people who pay me $600. I just got to find them. That's all. Okay, Richie says, Mr. Peterson, do you think only celebrities are booking all-day vehicles? What would make sense if their people hire you all day if they are in LA? Don't need a vehicle. What would make sense if their people hire you all day if they are in LA? No, I'm not depending on celebrities and people like that. The people who I'm depending on who need all day rides are people who are visiting the country from foreign countries. You advertise to people that's not American. For example, I had this lady who visited California for 3 days from Australia, and she paid me more money on Uber for waiting for her than I did for actually moving the car. That's how I learned about this. I didn't see your question, Al Sandler. I need you to repeat it again. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Um, and I learned that's what you do. You advertise to people visiting from Great Britain, from South America, from Africa, from Australia, from India, from China, from Japan. You advertise to those people, and they will gladly pay you the money. All you need is one person. You don't need a fleet of people waiting, calling you 300 times a day, trying to book every appointment you can do. You just simply be strategic with that one person a day, and you work 6 days a week. You say, hey, I'm available every day except Tuesday, and you're going to have a consistent experience with the same driver, the same car. You know what they're paying for? They're paying for you to basically be a guard for the things they buy at the stores they shop at. You can drive them to Rodeo Drive. They buy their stuff, stick it in the back of the truck. They go to the store, stick it in the back of the truck. So now they're not holding all those things around with them. You take them to Century City, and when you're ready, they have a designated spot, and they see your car. You come up and they get in. They don't need an app. They don't need anything. And that's what they're paying for. $600. Oh my goodness, they'll spend more than that on rideshare services, and they have to lug around everything. And then if you need to, drive to the airport, drive to the hotel, and tell them that we're in room 1492, and they'll take it up to the hotel, and then come back and just wait another 2 hours for us, and it's okay. Oh, what restaurant do you recommend? What place? And yeah, you're more than a butler to them. You're a concierge for them. You are a mobile concierge for that person. Everything they need, the vehicle, the attitude of the driver, security, giving them pointers and tips on where to go, tour guide, counselor. They're talking about all their important multi-million dollar financial transactions, and I mean, really, the list goes on and on and on about what's going on. Don't depend on celebrities. Don't depend on wealthy clients here and there, because they're finicky and inconsistent. You never know what's going to change with them. But when you talk to people who are visiting this country and they're here for just a few days, $600 for 2-3 days for a driver is nothing for them. But I'm going to tell you what it represents to me. And this is my little thing. I could be wrong. But I tell you, every time I tell a client I charge $600, they immediately give me the money on the spot. I don't have to fight with them like I do Americans. You tell someone in America you charge $600, especially if they live here, then the first thing they want to do, oh, well, can you do it for $450 instead? So $600 times 6 customers a week is $3,600 a week. Times 4 weeks is $14,400 a month. Times 12 months, because I don't take a vacation unless I really have to, that's $172,800. So if I ran out and bought a 2016 Cadillac Escalade with a bench seat in the rear, and got one with nice factory rims, and the exterior was pretty cool, and I advertised privatedriverla.com, $600, I am certain if I did advertising right and everything, that I would do pretty good. And that was why I went and took a chance, financed the Jeep, so that in 2 years I could do exactly that. I had a 2-year plan, and now that plan, poof, it's gone. So I gotta do something else, because it's not unless something else different happens. I'm not going to have that vehicle in a couple of years to execute the driving plan. But do something else, because hey, that was supposed to be the it's going to take me 2 years to recover from that, so that the issues of the financial repercussions of that will eventually be minimized. I can't just immediately get a car right now. They're going to say, look, you just got a car repoed, and you You got a $15,000 charge off on your credit. Why are we gonna trust you with another $25,000 car? So no, I gotta wait a while, build up some money, go in there and do the same scenario. Say, okay, here, if I'm gonna finance a car, I got $3,000 cash. Plus, we can do the incentive and we can go from there and do that. But you know what? I've been burned too many times trying to finance vehicles. I don't want to finance anymore. I really don't. If I can't pay cash for it or rent it, I'm just not going to do it. So hey, Adventure Girl Paula, what's up? You can charge someone in America $600 if he asks why. If they ask why you're so expensive, you are a doctor. No, I won't go that far and say I'm a doctor. It's just at the end of the day, it's like this. You want a professional driver who actually cares about you, not the money. Because you got to remember, as a driver, you get involved in a bad accident, your life can be changed. I'm confused. What rides do you currently take? Uber and Lyft, no TCP? That is correct. I do Uber and Lyft rideshare drives. The only TCP private rides I do is if I get a private customer that is paying me $600 a day. Other than that, I don't do it. You know, if a customer pays me $600 a day and they say, well, hey, you know, like I had one guy, he paid me $800 for a round trip to go from LA to Vegas, pick up a couple of associates in Vegas and bring them back. I couldn't use the vehicle I had because it had it only had a B permit. So I went and I rented a vehicle and I went and picked them up and brought them back. They paid me $800 for it. So, you know, PhD in driving like Torsten, rideshare professor is awesome. I'm trying, man. Did you turn your Lyft trade dress upside down? Did you turn your Lyft upside down? Why would I turn my Lyft trade dress upside down? It doesn't. I don't know. I didn't watch that video. I know that he posted. He said why he turns it upside down, but I didn't do it. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll watch the video and get back to you. But no, my Lyft trade dress is positioned the way it's supposed to be positioned. My trade dress is laminated, and so for me to do the upside down thing with it, it's kind of like weird to turn it upside down. But I haven't done it. I have to read that and see. So confused. What rides do you currently take? Yeah, I do Uber and Lyft, no TCP. Sorry about that, Al. Let me see. You charge someone in America $600. They ask why are you so expensive? Are you a doctor? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna worry about it. Here's the deal, and this is the question. If someone asks me what my day rate is, I'm going to tell them $600 for 14 hours of work. Here's my justification for that. First of all, I want $1 a minute for my time. I don't think that's unfair. $1 a minute. Simple as that. $60 an hour. That's what I want. $60 an hour. When you look at the commercial insurance, when you look at the gasoline, the maintenance, the skill I have to have, the fact I have to stay awake. I have a commercial driver's license. I got to take care of my health. You look at everything around, I think $1 a minute is worth it. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, I'm a self-employed professional. That means I have to make more money in order to sustain myself because I'm spending so much money on all the stuff to run the business. Then, do you really want someone who is cheap to give you a ride? They really don't care about you, and they're struggling when it comes down to it. But the other thing is this. I look at it and I say, okay, after 10 hours of work, I'll be paid $600 for 10 hours of work, $600. So I'm like, hey, let me sweeten the pot. For $600 with me, you'll have me for 14 hours. Okay, 14 hours. You can drive anywhere in the state of California that you can think of. That means if you can fit in a trip from LA to San Francisco back to LA, LA to Palm Springs back, San Diego, whatever you want to do in 14 hours, I will hook you up. If you believe that $600 is too much for you, I will tell you, I am not the right driver for you. Thank you for your interest. And we'll keep on going, because all that will happen is I'll just simply keep doing Uber and Lyft and be a happy camper. Um, so that's the thing. Um, let's see. Money over fame. Are you interested in getting back with Metro, or has that ship sailed? Right now with Uber, well, I'm sorry, with Metro, that is a poker chip I am keeping in my back pocket. I am waiting until this deal with Assembly Bill 5 is settled, because I am weighing my options across the board on everything. I am considering moving out of California if Assembly Bill 5 passes. I am considering going back to Metro. I am considering another job position that has been offered to me, but I have to wait to see if it actually becomes a reality. And I'll say more about that at the right time. Right now, it's in the planning stages. Um, Continuing with rideshare if it goes on. Um, Developing my own company if it comes about. So right now, what's holding me back from really doing anything is Assembly Bill 5. What will Assembly Bill 5 mean for the state of California? If it passes, if it doesn't, what are they going to do regarding AB 5? Right now, I really don't. The reason why I'm reluctant to go back to Metro is because, based on my analysis of everything I'm dealing with, my situation I'm in right now will actually be worse. And the reason why is because of this. This truck is currently my shelter. If I go back to Metro, I will have to give up this truck, and I will have no place to live. Going to my mom is not an option. Going to my dad is not an option. Going to my sister is not an option. Going to a friend is not an option. I have nowhere to go but right here. And I don't have my own vehicle to finance. See, if I still had the Jeep, then it would be no problem. I say, okay, great, no problem. I go back to Metro. I put in my 3 weeks. I get my first check, and then I keep working. And after 6 months, I'll have another apartment. If I finance my own car, then it'll be no problem. But I'm really not trying to finance another car. If I have a car, either I'm renting it like this, or I'm outright paid for it in cash. So that's the thing. It's like, do I want to wait? And then once I do go back to Metro, I'll have to wait a minimum of 3 weeks to get that first check. As a trainee, Metro only pays $5.71 an hour. My check is going to be less than $800 for 2 weeks of work, waiting 3 weeks to get it. And then I'd have to drive 6 months before I have enough money to even move into an apartment. And then I know exactly what I'm stepping into when I go back to Metro. I'm dealing with homeless people. I'm dealing with folk that are calling me every name in the book. I'm dealing with bitter drivers. I'm dealing with an administration that is hostile towards the workers. I'm dealing with overall bad environment. But the only reason why you go back, and then in order to get a retirement, I have to work for 23 years, and my income will be restricted to exactly how hard I want to work. Driving for Metro, and then I'll always be fearful that I'll get fired again. And so it's like, you know what? I'd rather take my chances and continue on doing what I'm doing, because at least I feel good right now, the way things are going. It seems bad, and then sometimes it feels bad, but I feel better now than I did when I was a bus operator. And I've been doing it like this now for 3.5 years, and the situation with the housing has essentially been like this since March um, March 2017. Um, so um, I don't want to do the hostel thing. I'm not interested in that. Um, and doing an Airbnb, I'm really not interested in doing an Airbnb either. I'm to the point now where I really I need to just be by myself on my own. I'm just, you know what, that's how it is. I've my hopes have been dashed way too many times. You know, and there's a couple of people I could possibly ask. Like there's one friend I could possibly ask him, you know, if I paid him $1,000 a week to rent out a room, I'm quite certain he would let me do it. But the problem is he lives all the way out in Menifee, and that's just too much of a drive, and the gas alone would drive me crazy. I mean, I'm already spending a fortune to make it here, but to drive from here in Menifee every single day and I get paid for it. And then dealing with the crazy drivers on the I-15. Y'all have not seen crazy drivers, so y'all been on the I-15. Um, so I'm like, no, I'm right now, and so I'm thinking the best thing for me to do is to just let me see. Let's see. If Bill B5 passes, would you consider a 26-foot box truck? Yeah. If AB5 passes, and I decide to remain in California, I'll get a truck driver job with my Class B license somewhere else. I don't know if I'll go back to Metro. I want to do something else. I tell you this, I miss my coworkers. It was great going to the union meeting and being with them, and I can get my job back. You know, that's a poker chip that I can keep in my back pocket for a long time. You know, I'm eligible for rehire, and they need a minimum of 700 operators. They've got right now they have a lot of operators that are currently retiring, and so they need replacements for those drivers. Um, as a bus operator, my only problem was I was having problems getting to work on time. But other than that, my work ethic everywhere else was perfect. I have two divisions of supervisors that would say, "Hey, we want Peterson back," because I never complained when I was at work. It was when I got assaulted is when I started having the problems. Um, and even then, I still worked hard, and to get stabbed in the back and in the heart and have it twisted and pulled out the way it was, it hurt. Um, I hear all the bad things about Metro, but I assume you don't have a retirement now at all to look forward to. I feel like Metro is at least a steady paycheck and the possibility of something at the end. You need to move somewhere way cheaper to live. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. See, here's the thing. When I think about Metro, yeah, Metro is reliable, steady, great income or so. But the reality is this: when I started with Metro, I was I was 40 years old when I started with Metro. I'm now 48. So I would have to put back in those 8 years plus additional time to get a retirement by the time, because you work for 23 years and then you get your pension benefits and all like that, which means I would basically be was 70 something years old when it was time for me to retire. And I'm like, I can I can do better by myself, um, by working somewhere else that will pay me more and give me more flexibility with the retirement plan and still have everything else and do something different. Um, going back to Metro is not exactly the wisest part for me to do at this time. And no, retire and die, that doesn't sound fun. It's not fun. But I have to keep in a reality in what, less than a year and a half. Um, I'm going to be 50 years old. I have to get off the pot and do something. I need to be doing it now, but Seriously, I think about it every single day. My retirement money, I had to cash it out because they would not let me keep it, and couldn't I couldn't move it somewhere else. So here I am. The buffering, I'm sorry about the buffering. I guess I'm in a bad cell phone coverage. I use Verizon, and it's telling me right now I've got 5 bars on Verizon, so there should be no buffering. And you're the only one who's making a comment about the buffering, so it may be on your end instead of my end. Um, Let me see. No, this is not Metro PCS. This is about my previous employment with LA County Metro as a bus operator. People ask me how I felt about going back to Metro as a job. No, if Uber says that that we have to be employees and work with them, no, because they're saying that you'll get paid. They sent an email stating that you get paid $21 and something cents when you're with passengers in the car. And when I look at the way they're treating the drivers now, and and how the state of rideshare is going, and all like that, no, I don't like I don't like the Jedi mind tricks that they play with the drivers. If the choice were between Metro and Uber, I just go back to Metro. But see, there are other options that are available, and there are other things I'm working on because of that. What's the point of the kneeling buses? They only look like they go down 2 inches or so. Believe it or not, those 2 inches or so makes a very big difference when you're dealing with elderly people and when you're dealing with wheelchairs. The kneeling bus is designed to drop down so that the lip of the entry into the bus is level with the curb. They're not designed to drop all the way down to the bottom of the street. It's designed to be level with the curb. But when I was a bus operator, what I typically did was I would kneel the bus, and I would also deploy the ramp so that the patron did not have to worry about stepping between that gap between the curb and the bus to get on the bus. You deploy the ramp, everyone comes on nice and happy. And that was the trick that worked. Yeah, that's the purpose of the kneeling bus. No, you don't say that word. The word is disabled. And I don't even like disabled, but you use the word disabled, not handicapped. We were trained on handicapped, and handicapped is actually an offensive word for the disabled community. It's insulting to them because basically what it said was you had your hand and you had a cap, and you were begging for handouts. That's where the etymology of the word comes from. And so you're asking. You would take your cap off, and handicap, and it's like, people think it's okay to say that, but when you're educated, you understand. I am an advocate for the disabled community, and I make sure I use proper terminology because I want those who are challenged in their abilities to know 2 things. Number 1, I respect you, and number 2, I have empathy for what you are dealing with. And I will tell a person in a second on the bus who will get mad about providing seating for someone who is disabled, someone's in a wheelchair. This person in this wheelchair, they're in their wheelchair for the rest of their lives. You can get up and move anywhere you want on this bus with no problem. I'm quite certain the person in the wheelchair would more than gladly be willing to switch positions with you. Get up and get another seat. I will tell them like that in a second, and they always comply. And I never got a complaint because they knew I was right. It's just that simple. I said, look, the longer we sit here is the longer you're going to hold up all these other 80 people on board the bus. But we're not moving until this person is on board this bus. Because control called me and they would say, hey, Peterson, we have a disabled person waiting for you at the stop. We need you to do it. Why? Because they knew that I would get the job done. I did not care how crowded the bus is. And I didn't care if I was 20, 30, 40 minutes late. Bottom line, this disabled person is going to get on board the bus, and that seat will be given up to that person or y'all just gonna have to wait for the next bus. It's just as crowded as this one here. We ain't going nowhere. And I got it every time. Oh yeah, that's what kept me going to the job. When I had to deal with all the negative stuff that I had to put up with as a bus operator, I had to find something that gave me a sense of pride and a sense of purpose to continue doing that job. And it was being of service to disabled people, being of service to elderly, because of all the customers that I dealt with on the bus, the disabled people, the elderly, those that were homeless, they were the ones that were always crapped on by the people that were able-bodied and young and had money and had other options. So that was my thing. And hey, Metro took it away from me. Apparently, my efforts to be the best operator possible did not matter to them. And it certainly didn't matter to them when I was assaulted because I was doing my job helping someone who was disabled. That's why it hurt so much. So, I'd rather continue struggling trying to find my way than give my talent, my service, my labor to an organization that ultimately won't really appreciate it. So, okay, I have another idea. What about driving those tour buses around LA? Is the pay not so good? I really don't know about that. My thing about working for a private company, though, being an employee, is I really don't have one second. Okay. I've actually been thinking about moving to Georgia in January. That's one of the states on my list. Moving back to Atlanta or moving to Alabama. I'm not going to make a firm decision about it until January. Access, I could work for Access, but something about Access is telling me not do it. I think the reason why I won't do Access is because with Access, I would be limited to those vans, and I get a thrill off of driving the big vehicles. I love the challenge, and I love that people know I'm the man when I drive the bus. I'm sorry, but I love it. You have this big 60-foot bus and it pulls up and it looks like the simplest thing in the world, but it's a challenge to move that much machinery around all these other drivers around here and all their rudeness. I love it. I get off on it so much, knowing that I can operate the vehicle. That's why this Suburban, this truck is nothing. This is like this thing right here is a little Honda as far as I'm concerned. Like, as long as I get in the drive-through, it's okay. But knowing, I'm walking, inspecting that 60-foot bus, and knowing that I'm moving it down the street, I'm telling you, there's just a sense of pride, especially when you rolling that thing down the freeway 65 miles an hour. 65 miles an hour, and you got 100 people on the bus, and I'm doing it like it's no thing at all. I loved it. I did. Oh boy. Hey, Uberman Tampa, what's up, man? How you doing? Drive trucks across the country. That's a challenge. Yeah, it is a challenge, but I am afraid of right now. I'm afraid of being an employee for someone else again, because being an employee just hasn't worked out as much as I hoped it would. All the experiences I've had being an employee, it's like, you know what, getting fired, being reprimanded, being disciplined, a supervisor getting mad at you, having bad arguments, dealing with employees that you have friction with, and you're trying everything to be cool with them, and you still have problems no matter what you try, and I don't want to deal with that stuff. At least with rideshare the way it is, if I choose not to work on Wednesday and I don't get paid because of it, it's because I chose not to work on Wednesday and I don't get paid for it. I like being able to do this right now. I like being able to run my mouth with 38 people on a YouTube channel watching me talk about nothing. This is freedom. This is freedom. And what I have found is, the way you know that you have real power is when you have the ability to say no. When you lose the ability to say no, you have no power. In whatever it is. I mean, hey, you know. But when you have it's not about saying yes. It's really about saying no. When you can do that, you have real power. And right now, I have that. I might not have the amount of money I want in my pocket. I might not have the nice house with an 80-inch Sony in front of me, you know, and the nice 7.1 sound system. But what I have right now is I have absolute power in front of me right now. So yeah, you know, when you do that, absolutely, yeah. Let me see. Where's that at? I completely I get it. I completely understand. Let me see. Let's see. I'm getting 26% of Georgia. Make more money than 18 logs. The way. Tell me something. This job in the state of Georgia, with no logs, no weight station, no DOT regs or something like that, is that available right now? Please let me know, because I let me see. Yeah, because yeah. Send me the information. I can look into it, because I'm gonna tell you something. I recently lost everything again. I recently lost everything again, and right now my life is reduced to the little suitcase I have in the back of this truck here, and the suitcase I have at my mom's house. That's it. That's all I got. Um, you know, as far as me leaving is concerned, all I have to do is give a 1-month notice to the owner of this truck, go to Enterprise and say, hey, I need to rent a car to drive across to Georgia. And I'll get in that car and I'll drive across to Georgia, save up enough money, turn it in, and that's, or take a plane and go out there. I probably want to drive more so, because I love to drive. But and then start over again and go from there. So yeah. Yeah, let me know. I'm interested. Um, Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Let me know more, and I'll seriously consider it. And if it's something that I think will work, I'll make the move a little earlier. Because right now, quite frankly, I'm just going through the motions right now. I'm making my quick $100 so I can do this. Make sure I'm rested up. Gonna push it hard tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I can pay what's done and keep it going over the next few weeks and restart something else. Um, and then go from there. We'll see. Let me see. Do you have the power to say no to Popeye sandwich? Oh, that's a good one. Yes, I do. I do. But right now I'm like, you know what? I say it like this. Once I've had the spicy chicken sandwich, then I'll be satisfied, because that sandwich isn't something I'm going to eat every day. No, I'm not going to eat it every day. So, but I tell you what, I will eat every day. It's boring and it has no taste to it, but I will live on it, and that's oatmeal. I know y'all think I'm crazy. I just went and had an emotional outburst over a chicken sandwich from Popeyes, but if I had to, I could just say, look, let me have a nice bowl of oatmeal, a nice 8-ounce bowl of oatmeal, no sugar, no butter, no nothing, just oatmeal. Preferably the old-fashioned or steel cut, not the instant, or not real big oatmeal, and just eat that, and then take some chicken, boil it, and do that, and I'm set. So yeah, I would do the oatmeal, and I'd be okay. Do you like plain yogurt, walnuts and honey. I don't like plain yogurt. No. And the only yogurt, it is the best yogurt I've ever had. It is so good. I tell you this, eating the Noosa is like eating that Popeye's chicken sandwich. Um, it's that good. It's a special treat. Like the Noosa is a 10, but here's the deal. Noosa is a full fat yogurt, and it's made in Australia a variety of flavors. Like I like lemon and mango. They had an apple cinnamon, but they don't sell in the stores anymore. That was my favorite, the apple cinnamon, and honey, which is basically the sweetened plain. Plain is nasty. I can't. That's nasty. Um, so with the Noosa, it's just so incredibly creamy. It is like, okay, there's creamy and then there's that Noosa, and you're just blown away by how creamy it is. You got to stir it up for a while, but once you taste it, it is the most amazing thing in the world. I can never get into eating oatmeal. I want to though because it's an easy meal to make. I just can't find anything I really like. Um, eating plain oatmeal with nothing in it, that's one of those things either you're gonna like it or you're not. It's simple as that. Vegas. I went and visited Vegas a couple of times, but I really didn't like the vibe there. I just I went there to pick up a friend who lived out there and he loves it in Vegas. Um, but I just wasn't feeling it. I mean, the only thing I really like about Vegas, they have really good roads in Nevada. I mean, it's amazing how there's this line on I-5, and when you cross it from California to Nevada, it's obvious. It's like, wow, they really know how to take care of their roads out there. Um, but I really just didn't get into Vegas. I never was compelled to be there. Phoenix, Phoenix is a little closer to LA. No, I'm sorry. Repeat. Reverse. Phoenix is a little farther away from LA than Vegas is. Um, I was there briefly and I like it in Phoenix, but I don't think I would ever go there. I don't know anyone. I don't know. The only benefit of either going to Vegas or going to Phoenix, quite frankly, is um, it's an easy drive back here to LA. I don't have to. I don't have to get on the plane to fly back out. Um, I'm not a sports fan, so I would not. I could really care less about football, basketball, baseball teams. I know the Phoenix Suns, they're the basketball team out there. Um, but I'm like, okay, Phoenix Suns, great. Um, but no, I lived in St. Louis for a short period of time. I liked it in St. Louis. I lived in St. Louis. I mean, I lived in Atlanta for a year. I enjoyed it in Atlanta. I liked it out there. Um, but moving to another state would really be a very scary proposition for me. Um, I liked Miami. Miami was cool. The only problem with Miami is probably going to get a hurricane in a few weeks, and I don't think I'm willing to deal with a hurricane. I'd rather be in a earthquake than a hurricane because at least you got nice weather. Um, yeah, Miami's expensive too. It's a hot town. But let's face it, they have crazy weather out there, and that humidity was something was something to behold. Oh my goodness. It was, say, Damien 42, 4421. What's up? But I like Miami. I have to be in Miami a bit longer to really understand that town. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Hearing about those shootings and all the things that go on in Miami or so, I don't know. It's weird. I'd rather be on the move, constantly moving. Um, That's the thing. I'd rather be on the move, going somewhere. And I think probably will make it easier for me at this stage of my life. If I were to leave California, I would actually need to be a on the road trucker. I don't have a, I would have to be a Rolling Stone basically. wherever he lays his hat is his home. I think that's you know, but I'm not a papa, so but still, you get what I'm thinking. To have a steady, solid place, no, I think a trucker lifestyle would actually work for me because I'm constantly moving. But this, with the gentleman here with the 770 number, he's telling me about a 26-foot box truck with none of the regulations, and you make more money. I'm up for that, and I want to hear more about it. If I can get that information, hopefully he'll send it to me. Um, I heard the job market isn't so good in South Florida. I've kind of heard that too. The job market isn't so great in Florida to begin with. Hurricanes aren't bad. No, the only thing about hurricanes really is just you're just dealing with a lot of rain. When you come down, you're dealing with a lot of rain. And usually with a hurricane, the one thing I say I do like about hurricanes is at least you're given several days notice to actually move out of town. And then once the hurricane is done, you go back home. So it's okay. Um, let's see. Well, Damien, I'd say that too. You take a hurricane over an earthquake because at least you have some notice before the hurricane comes through. We can have a hurricane. We can have an earthquake in the next 5 minutes, and all this could be obliterated in 5 minutes, literally. But hey, right now we're not. So let's see. I forgot some of these other questions here. Those of you who are still with me, I really appreciate it. The reason why I stay on here is for y'all, because it's y'all make it enjoyable, y'all make it fun. I get to talk to y'all, but yet still be by myself, and I appreciate that. It really do. Every time you post a video, it comes out to be you're in trouble, and you say you're doing this or that to make it better, but it's the same old story. Well, Alan Markarian, thank you so much for that insight. You're just such a fount of wisdom and knowledge, and you know I don't know what to say to that, but you keep tuning in. If it offends you so much, stop coming to the channel. Just block you, so that way you won't have to come back to the channel because you know how I feel about you. So if you don't have anything positive or constructive to say, then keep it to yourself, and we'll be very happy. Let me see. Rob M. Peterson, you're one crazy dude. One day, you're one crazy dude. One day you're up, the next minute you have nothing. We don't get it. Let's see. Oh no, the thing is this. What when you see I'm going up and down like this, I can tell you where that comes from. It ultimately comes from my ability or inability to accomplish my goals. When I accomplish my goal, I'm super happy. I can say, hey, I came back from an impossible situation and I feel great about it. But then if I try to get out of a situation and I don't meet the goal, I feel bad about it. I move my energy level, I go down. And I have to say, okay, how am I going to lift myself up from out of this situation? So it isn't about what I have or what I don't have. It's about, did I achieve a goal or not? And so what I do is, I try to reduce my goals, make them smaller, a little more manageable, a little more better. So that way I feel good about, okay, the next goal I want to achieve, the next goal I want to do. One of the biggest things I had to deal with and accept with rideshare is I had to accept that in 3.5 years I've been doing this, when it comes right down to it, I have not achieved my goals in rideshare. I haven't. My goal when I got involved with rideshare was to keep my apartment, was to keep my car, was to keep my stuff the day before I lost my job. You know, my goal with Metro is to stay there until I was 70 years old and retire from there. My goal was to go back to school, get a degree, become a supervisor, get one of those manager jobs by the time I was 50 years old and be a manager of a bus division. But I have seen the slow erosion of my goals because of other things that came around. I saw the erosion of my goals when I made the decision to, help my friend with her grandmother when the car got repossessed. So it's about, I set a goal, I have a plan, I start working towards achieving the goal by working the plan, and then things disrupt the plan to a point where I can't achieve the goal, and then I feel sad, I feel bad, and I got to recover from that again, and it causes problems. So I finally, after all this time trying to do all this stuff, make it work, and I had to say, you know what? Bottom line, Peterson, you have nothing. You've lost everything. You're living in your truck. All the money you make right now is going to the truck, to go into the gas, to go into keeping the truck because you need it for the. You're not living the kind of life that you want to live. You're living way below an acceptable standard for any reasonable person, but you're living below us, and that has to change. And for me, rideshare is not doing it, and rideshare likely won't do it. And so it's like, you know what? I have to make a different choice. I have to do something different. So right now, be appreciative of the fact that I at least have a way to make money, and then I can set another goal, something a little more reasonable, to go on ahead and move on somewhere else. I can make enough money to get an airline ticket and to fly away from here and start over again. Instead of looking at the fact that, okay, I don't have the car anymore and I don't have my stuff anymore, I can look at it and say, hey, think of it like this. I don't have that car payment to worry about anymore. I don't have to worry about trying to pay for that vehicle to rebuild my life. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about you lost your things, okay? Now you don't have to worry about paying a storage bill anymore. You don't have to worry about lugging around all that stuff across the country with you, taking care of it. All you have to deal with now is just a suitcase worth of stuff to take with you. That's it. It's just me, drive this truck, make the money for an airline ticket and a couple months of living expenses, and get myself back on my feet with something else. Start over somewhere different where it's totally a totally new world and like that. So it's like right now, wait until January and see what happens. Don't do it now, because now isn't the time to do it. Now is the time to build up the resources to get to that point. So when someone comes on the channel and they make comments like that, my response to you, other than what I've already told you, is at least I'm trying to do something. I'm not sitting here, woe is me, crying about it and weeping and all like that, because I did that and it didn't work. So, you know what? What am I going to do to fix this situation with the tools, resources, with everything I have? What am I going to do to fix this situation? Right now, all I can do is drive, make some money, save it, take care of a few bills, and then step from there. There are all kinds of opportunities out there. I just got to find the right one that works for me and go from there, and then put in the work necessary to make it happen, and do my best to hopefully not let it happen again. So yeah, I'm fearful of getting a job again, because I'm fearful I'm going to mess it up again and I'll be in this situation again. So I need to do something that doesn't involve me getting a job, or something that at least minimizes the risk of me getting fired from a job if I get it. That's why I was so confident in Metro as a bus operator, because I said, oh, I love this job. I love to drive. I'm doing the main thing I'm great at, which is driving. There's no way I could mess this up. They fired me twice. So I'm like, wow, wow. So hey, what can I do? That's it. Do my best to keep up a good attitude and do the best I can. Um, Another thing, Mr. Peterson, is that Florida is a right to work state. I have no clue what right to work means. You know, from what I understand, a right to work state really means everybody is treated like an independent contractor, even though you have employees. In other words, what right to work means is they can fire you at will. You come to work and you look at someone the wrong way. They think you looked at them the wrong way, and you really weren't even thinking about them. So, oh, we don't like you anymore, Peterson. You're fired. That's what right to work means to me, and everything I read about it. Right to work does not sound like it's my right to work doesn't sound like it's my right to work. It sounds like it's their right to allow you to work. And if they don't like you, then they can get rid of you for any reason whatsoever. In California, it doesn't work that way. So at this point, and you know, at this point, what I'm really considering seriously, what I really want to do is I just want to get to something that's internet based. Like there's a young man, his name is D'Angelo. He's Team D'Angelo, and he and I have been exchanging messages back and forth, and I'm going to follow some of the things he's doing, because if the stuff that he's doing, if it works for me in a way that the other things haven't done or so like that, um, then I'll be cool because I'll be making money on my terms. And right now I have the resources to make that happen. And so I'm like, and I already sent him a message. I said, look, I'm going to follow your instructions and follow what you're telling me to do and do this because this other stuff ain't working. So let me do something else and see what happens and go from there and listen to his instruction and do that. That's my plug for Team D'Angelo, by the way. So, okay, that's pretty much it. Basically, union dues are not mandatory down here. Oh, okay. The way I see it, there are no secure jobs. Nope, no job is secure. Not even a good county government job like I had. It's not secure. Dustin. What's up, doctor? How are you doing? Dustin, who is getting the Smackovich this time? Please let us know. We want to know who is getting it. I dedicate this phone to Dustin. This phone used to be my Lyft phone. That's why the case is pink, because no, it's not pink. I'm sorry, it's fuchsia. You're right, it's fuchsia, not pink. Fuchsia. And that was my Lyft phone. Now that phone is my internet phone. I think I'm gonna change the case color to a different color to get it away from the fuchsia. It's gonna be upgraded. It's not pink, it's fuchsia. Get it right. Didn't you watch The Devil Wears Prada? You have to say the color correctly. It's fuchsia. Okay. Whoever beat up that Lyft driver deserves a Smackovich. You know what? That driver deserves more than a Smackovich if he beat the Lyft driver. He deserves a little bit more than that. Whoever works for Lyft that deactivated him. Oh yeah, I get you. I don't have any. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. So it's pink, Peterson. No, it's not pink. It's fuchsia. All right, whoever works for Lyft be done. Okay, let's see here. What's up, Dustin? I'm just running my mouth now. I came on board to apologize to people for cutting them off early, and to talk sandwich and spicy chicken sandwich, and I was gonna go to Wendy's, but I changed my mind because I had chicken strips instead. And then we just started rambling on and on about, you know how I do. This was supposed to be a 30-minute live stream, but for some reason I managed to add an additional 100 minutes to it. So here we are. Okay, let me see. Damn, it's still light where you are. Yes, it is. It is Los Angeles, California. It is 6:24 p.m. Beautiful day. It's 81 degrees outside, if you can believe it. It's a nice day today. Um, Everyone in my job can't shut up about it. No, I'm telling you, I thought I overreacted. I really did, but my reaction to it was on point because I was not expecting it to taste that good. I mean, really, all the other chicken at Popeyes is a disappointment compared to that chicken sandwich. I don't know what it is they do. It's just a combination of all the stuff. You know, the bread. Um, ooh, 90 degrees, and you're still in Florida there too. It's that good. It really is. It really is that good. Um, that's why I was trying to get a second one, and they're all sold out here. So I just said, look, I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna wait until I hear someone says there's another one. But I think what happens is they get shipments every night, and so in the morning is when you want to get one. But the lines will probably be even worse in the morning when it comes down to it. I hear a lot about the Popeyes chicken sandwich, and we don't have a Popeyes here. Wow, yeah, LA, we have a lot of Popeyes out here. So yeah, we have lots of Chick-fil-A out here. The first time I heard about Chick-fil-A was when I lived in Atlanta. I never heard of Chick-fil-A. I'm like, what's this Chick-fil-A place? And they had it at the airport. And so I went and I had the sandwich at the airport. And I was blown away. I'm like, wow, they actually make chicken sandwiches this good? I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. It was a relatively boring looking sandwich, but it tasted great. But I'm gonna tell you, what got me hooked on Chick-fil-A is that honey mustard sauce. Oh, ooh, that's some good sauce. So and now when I go to Chick-fil-A, what I usually get is I usually get either the market salad or the Cobb salad, and I put in 2 packs of the honey mustard sauce, and it's like the best salad in the world. Love it. So yeah, their lemonade is the bomb at Chick-fil-A. But I'm gonna tell you this: I went to this restaurant in Miami, not too far from the airport, and that place has the absolute best lemonade I have ever had in my life. Um, I took a picture of it, but I should have I should have took a picture of the it's probably on that phone right there. Um, but that lemonade was hot. It was so good. I had to ask if it was true that 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 lemonade was non-alcoholic, or it wasn't like a virgin margarita or something. It was so good. I don't know what they did to it, but that was some good lemonade. It was the best I ever had. The second best lemonade, um, it's a toss up between Fatburger and Chick-fil-A. So it's a toss up between those two. Okay, what's up with this spicy chicken sandwich? They're putting drugs in it or something. You know what? They gotta be. I'm not joking. They have to be, because I think in the last video I basically said that it was like, okay, you know how that meme is where they have Batman and slapping Robin. Well, that was the that's that's what it felt like eating that sandwich. It was that good because first of all, I was completely unprepared for how good it tasted, and then it was really just it took over the whole mouth, and it just filled up the whole mouth, and it was like, okay, you have this sweet bun. It was like a King's Hawaiian bread, but a little different. and then it was lightly toasted, and they put some kind of sauce on it. It looked like, um, it looked like it looked like Miracle Whip, but it wasn't Miracle Whip. Um, and they had another sauce on the bottom, and I don't know what that sauce was. And then you had the chicken breast, which was a very large cut. So it wasn't the regular chicken breast they have here at the restaurant. And then the breading was completely different because it wasn't hard, it wasn't crunchy, it wasn't thick. It was lightly breaded, but it was nice and tasty. It wasn't salty, at least to me. The meat was big, gigantic, juicy. You know, it actually sat on my seat for 5 minutes before before I ate it, and it was still hot because it was in that foil wrapper. Um, it was it was quite the experience. And so for me to complete the experience, because I had the regular already, now I want the spicy. And then after I've had the spicy, I basically had my fill of it. So that's that. I lost 50 pounds doing Amazon. Okay. Okay, let's see. But I gotta quit eating them for a while. I need to lose some weight. Yeah, Damien, I feel you on that losing weight. I gotta feel weight too, man. I definitely gotta feel weight. PDQ, ground beef at Tijuana Flats. PDQ. What is PDQ? Educate me. PDQ. I know DQ is Dairy Queen, but PDQ, I don't know what PDQ is. I never heard of it. Tampa Flats is Tijuana Flats is delicious. Um, Let me see. Great chicken sandwiches. I've never heard of Tijuana Flats before, and you know it's interesting. We should have them because Tijuana is only 130 miles away from LA. That's the irony of the whole deal. The city that's closest to Tijuana doesn't have it. I've never heard of it. It's like Chick-fil-A. Let's see. Let me look up Tijuana Flats and see what it is. If we have a Tijuana Flats, um, you know, let me see. Tijuana. Tijuana Flats locations. Okay, let's see. I think that's where the lemonade. Let me see. Let me see. Search radius. Let's find out. Okay, this is something. This is amazing. I went to the website and I did a search radius from where I am right now to within 500 miles. Okay, 500 miles covers all the way to New Mexico, and we don't have to. Wow, they don't have one Tijuana Flats in California. Now get this. This is I'm gonna tell you exactly how far away I am from Tijuana right now. I'm sitting in Hawthorne right now. Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico is 122 miles away from me. Okay? Tijuana is 122 miles away from me, but yet we don't have a Tijuana Flats restaurant within 500 miles of my location. That is so sad. So sad. It will only take me 2 hours and 32 minutes to get there. Goodness gracious. Talk about irony. Oh boy, that's something. Okay. You can't make money on rideshare. Um, Geo would disagree with you. Um, the simple driver would disagree with you. Um, the rideshare guy would disagree with you. Um, the rideshare professor would disagree with you. A number of rideshare people would disagree with you. Um, but I agree with you. Go figure. Hey, I'm making some money. Um, hey, it's just been, oh, oh, we don't have White Castle out here either. I never had White Castle, but I saw them when I was in St. Louis. But we don't have White Castle here. But we've heard about their burgers, and that place is White Castle is legendary. So we've heard about that. What time is it? 6:36. Let me see. Let me see. I'm glad you threw in the towel on rideshare. There is nothing left. Yeah, I'm just going through the motions at this point right now because I'm searching for something else to work out. Right now I am making money with rideshare. I'm not able to accomplish my goals with rideshare, no matter how hard I work. Um, so I want to move on to something else. Right now, I'm doing this because I have to do this right now. But when the time is right for me to move on to something else, I will. Um, I'm want to develop my YouTube thing and do some more with that. But it takes time to fully develop a YouTube channel and really build it up to something where you can depend on the revenue from that. Um, and even that really isn't a guarantee when it comes down to it. So yeah, my whole attitude has changed now, and it's like, you know what, I'm not going to beat myself up on Tuesdays and Wednesdays like I used to. Oh, the thing about the channel, Ride with Peterson, I have a lot of variety with Ride with Peterson. I do all kinds of things with it. It's very fascinating. That's why I didn't tie it to a a specific thing or so. The channel will continue, but I will tell you this: if the time comes for me to formally terminate the channel, then I will let you know, and I will be respectful of everyone and say, hey, we in fact, I've already made the thumbnail for that. I've already made the thumbnail if it came down to it. But no, I'm a little heartbroken, a little sad, but hey, it's life. It's what it is, and I think most people will agree with me on here that when it comes to rideshare, I gave it my best, but I need to because this I'm dealing with right now is not, no, it's not working. Um, so we'll see. That's where we are. Let me see. Oh yeah. So, hey Mark, it's great seeing you, man. It is wonderful. It's wonderful seeing you. More than likely, what will end up happening is I will continue on YouTube with a different channel. The channel itself has already been set up. I already have the a new domain name. All the social media is already set up for it and everything. I just have to make the videos. Um, and my plan is to launch it beginning in January. Um, no, I'm not going to change the name, and the reason why is because I'm a firm believer in starting a brand new channel from scratch, and building that channel, from the very beginning, from the ground up, to have it develop its own audience. For subscribers, on this channel, and I've done an amazing job with this channel. I am blown away. Words cannot describe how surprised I am. I honestly did not expect more than 500 subscribers for this channel. So for me to have done what I have done with this channel, I'm like, okay, this is good. Um, but at the end of the day, the subject the subject material um, the subject material is such that the reality is, and I had to come down to that decision a few days ago. I'm simply not achieving my goals with this with rideshare. I'm not. Um, I'm really not making all that much money with this channel. On a good month, I'm making $200 a month on the channel, which is all right. But like this month, I came just short of the minimum threshold of $100. So the check I get next month will be nice. The talk of Assembly Bill 5 and all this talk of Trip really pushed it over in a nice way. And so that check will come in handy really nice when it finally comes next month. Um, but I'm not worried about losing the revenue because I can build a new channel with new skills and new stuff. Um, but I will venture out and do something else. My true passion is talking about the cars, and I do feel that in that particular space, the formula that I'm working on, I will be very successful um, in that particular space. I will do it. But the reality is, I am not. As a rideshare driver, I'm simply not thriving. I am just existing at this point, and I need to be able to. I need to be able to do more. And so I'm like, okay, fine. I'm gonna chill on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm gonna relax, and I'm gonna talk. Now Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, you're not gonna catch me because I'll be focused on driving. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm doing what I want to do. Monday, up until a certain point, same thing. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Um, so there we go. Rideshare is still great as a supplement, in my opinion. I'd rather do something else to supplement at this point because, for example, as a rideshare driver, I can never drive a Camaro. I would love to have a Camaro SS with a 6-speed manual transmission. Arrest me red. That's what I want. I don't need a convertible, just a nice SS with a 6.2 V8 up front and a manual transmission, and I'd be happy. But you know what? I can't have that as a rideshare driver, and so I have to get this, a Yukon, which I love. It's a great vehicle. It's awesome, but you know, and the reason why I like the Camaro is because I can't fit in a Corvette. And I don't think that's going to change when the new Corvette, the C8, when it finally comes out, which is amazing, by the way. Um, what do you think of four-door sports cars? Um, I personally think that the four-door sports sedan is cool. I like them. Um, I like the Dodge Charger, but I think I would like the Cadillac CTS-V a little better. I haven't seen the 2020 Mustang yet, but I know they're really fresh on the car. To compete more effectively with Camaro. I think it's unfortunate that Chevrolet is ending development of a replacement for the Camaro. But let's face it, the vehicles aren't selling as much as they want, and this is the best Camaro ever. The best. I sat in that new Camaro, and it's a wonderful car, and it's worth every dime. Problem is, it's not selling. People are buying the Chargers more. People are buying the Mustang more. In fact, the Mustang is doing so well, Ford has killed all cars except for the Mustang and the GT. the Ford GT. Their mid-engine exotic that Ford makes that I never knew existed until what, about 4 years ago. Um, so the Jaguar F-Type is cool. I mean, I like the look and the style of it, but I personally wouldn't drive. I wouldn't drive one or own one, but I like the way it looks. It's a great looking car. I think the Jaguar, the F-Type Jaguar has always been a company that has always been considered. Jaguar is what you buy when you can't afford Aston Martin, or yeah, Jag is what you buy when you can't afford an Aston Martin. Um, on those end, because it's a British car now owned by the Indians, the Hindu. Nothing wrong with that. They have the money to continue the development, but it's wow, it's something. But the F Type is pretty cool. Um, or well, no, Bentley I think is in a totally different class, because Jaguars have always been more sporting than Bentleys, mostly because Jags were less expensive and so they could handle being more sporty. Um, Even when you look at the classic Bentleys, when Bentley heavier version was a slightly lighter version. Um, and those Rolls Royces and Bentleys, those weren't really desirable cars to me. I mean, they were okay, but money, and you really couldn't move those vehicles. But they're impressive because, hey, you pull up in the vehicle and, hey, they're impressive. How about the BMW M5 or the M760? Um, as much as I love BMWs, the shameful thing about those vehicles, quite frankly, the only Beamers that I personally would really buy would be something with their six-cylinder engines. And the reason why is because the six-cylinder engines, at least they're easier to maintain and deal with. If I were going to buy a vehicle with a V12 with a BMW V12 engine in it, I'd just go ahead and get a Rolls Royce. Um, get a Ghost and be done with it. Um, but I love the 7 Series, the current G12 7 Series. I I drove one for 2 years, and it was the best car I had ever driven, as far as like for a daily driver, and that could do everything as far as a car is concerned. The M760 has a 6-liter twin turbocharged V12. The BMW M5, the current BMW M5, has a twin turbocharged V8. When it comes to BMWs, I know exactly what they have. The 750i has a twin turbo V8, and the 740 has a single turbo 6-cylinder. So yeah, I know my BMWs, because BMWs is one of my favorite brands. Very well educated on what they have. It's okay. Can someone help me? I don't understand what you're saying, Mr. Calhoun. Yeah. So let me see. If I had $200,000 to spend on a car, I would go with the G wagon personally. Why on earth would you go with the G wagon? I gotta hear that one, Jordan. Why would you do the G wagon? I'm curious. I like them. They're nice, but I wouldn't spend $200,000 on a G wagon. I think you could sell BMWs all day, like Pancreas. What? Wait for the new GLS 2020. Um, I saw the Mercedes GLS 2020. They're already on the road here in LA. I think I saw one. I know the MLs are out. And all the GLS is just a stretched out ML, which is now the GLE. So my forgive me. It's just all it is just a stretched out GLE. And I'll tell you, um, that that third row seat, you don't have any cargo capacity when the third row is up. Um, It's like the BMW X7. Okay, it's back there, but you really don't have any real space. And then you have no cargo space at all in the rear. Those vehicles were designed to fit in garages. It's a crossover. It's not a truck. It's an SUV. It's built on the G12. It's built on the same platform that's used on the short wheelbase 7 Series. Um, but the third row, there is no real space. Um, for the third row, there just isn't. And then when you are in the second row, you really don't have all that much space in it either. But for people that want a high riding 7 Series, it's a great vehicle. I mean, the features are amazing on the X7. Um, it really is. It's fantastic. You look at the way you can control the seats and the panoramic moonroof and the sound system, the displays, the technology, the Wi-Fi, the quality of the air conditioning system, the quality of the ride, the styling, the overall dynamic capabilities of the vehicle. It's great. Um, you know, but I would say this: unless you just don't like General Mercedes GLS, I would advise you to wait until you can decide, because at this point in the marketplace, there are really only 3 more trucks that the market is waiting to see what happens. And that is the T1 versions of the General Motors full-size SUVs, um, the redesigned Toyota Sequoia, the redesigned Toyota Land Cruiser LX 470, and the redesigned, well, no, I think they already did it. Infiniti has already redesigned their QX80, and they've already redone the Armada. So no, we're waiting. We're just waiting on Toyota to redo their full-size truck, and General Motors to redo theirs. A lot of issues with that truck that has to be done as well too. Um, I don't think they will have a hard time taking down the Navigator. But as far as the Aviator is concerned, oh yeah, they've already lost that, because what General Motors has done with the Cadillac XT6 and what they have out with the Buick Enclave and the Chevy Traverse. Now, I like the Traverse. They did a great job with the Traverse overall. But the Buick Enclave, the GMC Acadia, and especially the XT6, those are disappointing vehicles. They really are. Um, those are vehicles, the Enclave, the Acadia, the XT6, those are the vehicles you buy because they're going to be giving up great incentives on those trucks. You're looking for a vehicle and you want a great deal where they're going to add extra money to what you're going to put down. Just wait for the incentives to come on those, and they'll do interesting. I'm gonna tell you what I am interested in though. I forgot to tell y'all about this one. I saw a prototype vehicle in Redondo Beach. Um, it was a prototype Dodge Ram truck. However, underneath it, they were covering up as they were testing the platform for the new Wagoneer and the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. They're going to put an independent rear suspension on the Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer, because that was the only reason why they were covering up that it was a Dodge Ram. It was the new body style, but it looked like it had it was overall sized the same as a Ford Expedition, the short wheelbase Expedition. So you had a crew cab body, but the cab was bigger than what it is on the current crew cab, and it had a shorter bed than what the current short bed is on the Dodge Ram. But everything was camouflaged, but it looked just like a a, a Ram crew cab, but it wasn't a Ram crew cab. And they had the rear suspension covered up, and I'm like, that's an independent rear suspension. Why would you cover up a solid rear axle on the back of a prototype truck when it clearly looked like a Dodge Ram? Um, I think that FCA, Chrysler, Fiat, they're going to come out with a winner on this SUV. They're going to get it right. They're not going to mess up like they did when they came out with that Aspen. And it's going to be a runaway success. Because have you seen the inside of those new Rams? Those are nice trucks. And they're going to put it on Jeep, and they're bringing back an iconic name because get this. What a lot of people don't remember is this. The original luxury SUV back in the day was the Grand Wagoneer. That was the original one that truly started this whole thing. Before the Land Cruiser is what it is today, right when Range Rover came over to America, and that was the status truck to have back then before it was a status truck, Jeep had the Grand Wagoneer. I remember when I was a kid, my next door neighbor, she had one. That thing was huge, it was big, it was expensive, and it had the genuine wood on the side. It was it was something else. I like those Rams. I do. It's just that I'm a GM guy when it comes down to it. I tried to get into Fords. I tried to get, and Jeep has been inconsistent with their vehicles. Chrysler and what they've been inconsistent. They discontinued the Grand Wagoneer when AMC was bought by Chrysler, or when they merged or something like that. Because remember, back in the day, Jeep was part of American Motors Corporation. So that's the thing. Um, they asking 100K for Escalades now. GM be smoking crack. Well, but you know what? If people weren't paying $100,000 for them with no problem at all, they wouldn't be selling them for that. But see, get this, they wouldn't be. But right now, the current Escalade, because a lot of owners know that the Escalade are being replaced in a few months. The Escalades you can get an Escalade for almost $20,000 off if you negotiate it right. They're really trying to get rid of those trucks because they're still pushing them out, but they got the new trucks that are coming. People know they are coming, and when you have the former head of Cadillac telling you it's going to be impressive, and you look and see what the design is of the truck currently or so, the expectations are high because look at what they just came out with Cadillac. I'm not sorry, not with Cadillac, with the Corvette. And look at, no one was expecting that from General Motors, GM, to come out with the Corvette the way it is. That's an amazing car. Hopefully it's reliable, which it probably will be because they're putting the new 6.2 V8 in it. More than likely that 6.2 V8 will be tuned a bit differently to work in the new trucks. But we already know what the truck lineup, the SUV lineup is going to be because we have the new Silverados and the new Sierras already out in the road. You know what I think they're going to do with the Corvette? They're going to stop calling it the poor man's Ferrari, and they're going to call it something else because that car now is a worthy competitor in that particular space. When you do that, will they still use the same transmission as the current generation SUVs? No, what they're saying is that with the new SUVs, they're supposed to go with the new 10-speed automatic transmission. Essentially, all you have to do if you're interested in what the powertrain choices are going to be, all you have to do is look at what General Motors is currently offering with the Sierra, and with the GMC Sierra, and with the Chevrolet Silverado. Look at the best 5.3 V8 they have, and look at the best 6.2 V8 they have, and that's what they will basically offer. They will offer those things. In some mean, you know, they need to make 800,000 of these units every year, and they're not going to really flow too far away from that. The SUV, the full size SUV, is a specific market niche. The truck, they need a lot more variety with those, but the new trucks they have, very very impressive build quality, and they fit that range that the core customer who buys those vehicles they're looking for. I mean, when you look at those vehicles, it's like, yeah, you know, they're big, they're broad, they're solid, but they're built good, and they sound good when you play around with them and touch them and close the doors and start them up, and you feel good when you look at them, you feel good when you're on the road, and all like that. So it'll be fascinating to see how they will actually execute this. Let me see. They still can't figure out we need to slide back the third row for more leg room. Well, here's the deal when you look at the third row on these vehicles, when you look at the trucks. They reduce the wheelbase so that they can fit through drive-throughs. But you have to remember, you have two components that are beneath the frame, beneath the body of the truck. You have the fuel tank and you have the rear axle, and they have to go somewhere. For the third row seat, they just sit the third row right on top of all that stuff. The seats you want to move will be the second row. But the problem is this: trying to make movable seats is expensive, especially when you're dealing with a vehicle that needs to pass safety regulations for crash test worthiness and things like that. You don't want to put a seat in a vehicle that could potentially move when you're in a vehicle collision. So they have fixed seats in a certain area. You know, I mean, you have to make certain consideration in these vehicles. Some people, if they want more leg room, they just take out the second row, and that way you got all the leg room you want for the third row. And some custom conversions, they will do that. And for people that want even more space now, get a Sprinter and customize it. You know, some people are like, look, why spend $100,000 on an Escalade when you can spend the same money on a custom Sprinter that will give everybody all the room they want, and they literally have more space than first class accommodations on the aircraft. That's where the market is moving to. For people that have the space that can handle a Sprinter, they're just getting a Sprinter. And it's the same thing. You don't need to go through drive-through for that, but you can go virtually everywhere else. So that's what smart money says. Get a Sprinter instead. Yes, Ford and GM collaborated on that transmission because, let's face it, when you look at the sales of the Ford F-150, the Ford Expedition, the Lincoln Navigator, the Ford Aviator, the Lincoln Aviator, the Ford Explorer, the GMC Sierra 1500, the Chevrolet Silverado 1500, the Chevrolet Silverado, I'm sorry, not Chevrolet Silverado, but the Chevrolet Suburban, the Chevrolet Tahoe, the GMC Yukon XL, Cadillac Escalade ESV. When you look at all of those vehicles, you're looking at a minimum 2 million vehicles annually. That's a minimum. You look at all those different vehicles to where that one transmission is applied to, and what it's for. It represents a big deal. A lot of money that's saved, but a lot of money that's earned as well. It's amazing that two rival companies have decided to partner on this transmission. What they probably did was they probably formed an independent company and then they're buying the transmissions from that company to save money because they need to. It'll be interesting to see how it turns out, but it's a 10-speed automatic. That's pretty good. One thing about that transmission we can say for this, when it's time to start fixing them, unless they're requiring the entire transmission to be replaced when it's time to service it. Parts for that transmission will be super cheap and super plentiful for the next 30 years, guaranteed. So let's see. Independent suspension means you won't have your knees in your chest. Um, we'll see. We'll see when it actually comes out how they do it. I saw a lot of nice space in the back of the Lincoln Navigator when I sat in it. It looked more roomy and it looked wider on the inside. But Fords have always been a little bigger and a little wider than GM vehicles. That's always been the case. That's one thing I can say I do like about Ford vehicles. When it comes down to their Expedition and their Navigator, one reason why they sell well is because, let's face it, they probably don't have the nicest ride, but they got all the space. They got a ton of space on the inside, except for up front. I was disappointed with that. Okay, Toyota Prius appears to be the most popular rideshare choice in my market. I still like my Ford Fusion though. Love the legroom, trunk storage, space, ambient lighting, leather interior, gas mileage. Yeah, the Ford Fusion is great, and the Toyota Prius is there as well too. But those vehicles are popular for the drivers because they use no gas, virtually no gas, very little amount of gas. But ultimately, when you're talking about a vehicle like the Prius, drivers are driving what works best for them. Sometimes the car that works best for them is the vehicle they already own. You're not trying to buy something different to use for rideshare. So, go figure. Oh, as far as the Corvette biting hard on Ferrari and no manual anymore, the entire industry is moving towards the dual clutch transmission. General Motors already said that they considered building a manual transmission for the car, but the a number of people that would potentially buy the manual transmission, it would not have been profitable enough for them to make a transmission that would effectively fit in only one vehicle at DMX. They couldn't spread it out over several cars. It was just simply better for them to simply go the dual clutch transmission because everyone else is doing it. And look, bottom line, they're gonna sell cars gonna sell like crazy when people see it in person. Um, and it's like they don't have to make a manual transmission. If people are so mad that that doesn't have a manual transmission, there's still some C7s left over with regular manual transmissions they can get. Um, it won't be the same, but think about it. Everything we're doing now is going to computers and automation and being more efficient. Um, if hey, I hope when it comes out and gets to the dealers that I can actually sit in it and be comfortable. When the LA Auto Show comes, hopefully we'll have one and they'll be letting people sit in it. And I can't wait to sit in the car. And if I can get in it nice and comfortable or so like that, then that'll be great because I'll finally be able to drive a Corvette. Because every Corvette I drove before, they were always uncomfortable. Let me see. Riders love to complain about my Prius, but won't pay more than Uber X rates. Yeah, that's true. I was talking about my vehicle, but the American trucks are like that as well. Independent suspension means you won't have. Oh yeah. It depends. It depends. Let me see. Make sure I got everything. All right, everybody. I've been with y'all for 186 minutes right now. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to talk to about with me on this? Let me see. Well, the reason why Grand Cherokees are still the go-to for middle American managers, it's because the Grand Cherokees, when it comes down to it, they're easy to get because they have incentives. They're giving you money on the table to buy Grand Cherokee. And then, in some areas of the country, you're not supposed to buy anything but an American vehicle. If you buy a foreign car, you're looked down upon. So you get the Grand Cherokee to fit in with your social group. So jeep.com. Like, for example, I'm gonna go to jeep.com right now, and right now they're having a Labor Day sales event, and say hurry in now to get 0% APR for 72 months. That's an incentive to basically pay no money in interest for 6 years. Okay. And they have all the vehicles here. So you have a Jeep Grand Cherokee. The price starts at $32,195. Um, Let me see. When will you be in South Florida again? I like to treat you to lunch. You'll love it. I don't know when I'll be in Florida again, but if I am in Florida again, I will definitely let you know. I plan on coming back before the end of this year, because I really enjoyed it out there. I had a great time, and I would love to be out there for 2 weeks and drive on rideshare while I'm out there. Because now that I know that I can drive in the state of Florida on my license on Lyft, I'll probably do it. It's exciting. As far as an RV is concerned, I would get one of those 45-foot long Class A. I think it's called a Class A coach, or whatever the big, gigantic ones are. The ones that cost $500,000. It's literally a house on the inside. Oh yeah. Oh, but they got these RVs that are built off of Sprinters, and those are nice. I would love to get one of those. That would be great. Do you need a special license to drive an RV? I don't know. Some of them I think you do, but some you don't. But I really don't know. I haven't really looked into it and researched it. I do know this with a like, for example, if you had an RV that was off of a van conversion, no, because it's a van. It's just converted to an RV. But the 45 footers, the ones that use diesel fuel, you may or may not need a commercial license for them, because you got to remember those big ones. They use air brakes, because those are big, heavy. Those are big, heavy vehicles that basically are buses converted into RVs. But again, you never know. Here's the funny thing about them: those vehicles are registered with regular license plates. You're not required to put commercial plates on those vehicles, and I think because of that, you don't need a special license for them, but you really should, because those are big, heavy vehicles. Okay, so let's look at what they're saying for the Jeep Cherokee. So here's the Jeep Cherokee. They have 2 incentives on this. You can get 0% APR for 72 months, or they're giving you $3,750 cash back. You want to know why Jeep Grand Cherokee still sells today? It's because they're giving you $3,750 to add onto your down payment. For some people that have great credit, you are walking in, and that $3,750 is all you need to walk out to pay no money out of pocket to get a decent lease on the vehicle. That's it. They're giving you money to take these vehicles off the lot. That's why it's selling so well, because you're not getting an incentive on what you really want, which is that Lexus RX. You have to walk into a Lexus dealer with money. You have to walk into the Honda dealership with money. But if you go to an American dealership, they're giving you money to buy a Traverse. They're giving you money to buy a Buick Enclave. They're giving you money to buy an Acadia, but not Lexus. Mercedes, they're not giving you money to buy a Mercedes. They're certainly not giving you money to buy that BMW X5. So yeah, middle America guys who want to be in a nice, decent, acceptable new car and pay no money to get it, they're buying a Jeep Grand Cherokee. That's what that's about. I'm telling you, you got it. And look, $32,195. If you go in there and you do everything right, this is what you do. You go in there and say, look, I want a Jeep Cherokee Laredo, and they'll say, okay. So we got $195, and then you subtract $3,750. So that gives you $28,444. And then you give them another what? $3,000 in cash. That leaves you $25,444. And then you say, look, I'm going to give you you give me the incentive plus another, and you give me the incentive, give me $3,000, get the dealer to knock another $1,500 off to the price of the truck, and guess what? You qualify for special financing. You have a Jeep Grand Cherokee. You work the numbers, and they're gonna want to sell you a truck. I mean, guess what you do? You bring them some cash, and you can make a deal happen. People, this is America. You can make miracles happen in America. when you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about. But don't go in there demanding, oh no, I want a limited, and I want it to be fuchsia. I don't want that ugly silver one with cloth interior. No, you go in there and you say, sir, I've had a tough time in life. I'm trying to make money, and I just need an opportunity. I mean, I got a 375 FICO score. My credit ain't that bad, but it's close. I got a 375 FICO score, and I tell you, but look, I want to make money with you today. I want to make a deal. I got $3,000 cash, and if just put me in a vehicle, and we'll take a video. You'd be surprised what they'll pull out when they show you. You say, okay, let's give us a number. And if they come back to you and they say, we want $825 a month, you do a few numbers in your head and everything, and you say, you know what? Done, I sign it. Okay, great. And they will say what they need to say to the finance company, and you will drive down 2 hours. I'm telling you, that's how you work it. Because bottom line is this: they want that deal. They want that deal. And if you're saying that you're willing to take on that obligation and make it happen, and you're willing to pay a gazillion in interest charges and all like that, and your plan looks halfway reasonable or so like that, worst case scenario, they'll come back to you a couple days later and say, hey, Mr. Peterson, we got you in the truck and everything is good and everything is all right, but we need you to bring in like another $1,000. Can you make that happen? You say, yeah, sure, I can make it happen. Okay, great. Have a great day. Yeah, follow through on your plan and you'll be okay. Pay the price for 2-3 years. After that, hey, you'll be like Al Pacino in what's that movie that he shot up everybody? Al Pacino in whatchamacallit? He had this thing, the world is yours or the world is mine or something. I'm trying to think of that video. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He was in Miami, had the mansion, came from Cuba, became the biggest drug lord. First you get the money, then you get the there you go, Scarface. Thank you. First you make the money, then you get the woman, then you get the power or something like that around that end. So I already have a CDL. I just have a Class B. I'm working on my Class A, and I need to take care of that as soon as possible. I need to get that done because that's part of the plan to get that going. But I've been moving a little slower on that than I thought. So yeah, Al Pacino. That's right. That movie is part of American culture. Ooh, goodness, I gotta watch that film again. That was an excellent film. Al Pacino, come meet my little friend, Manny Manalo. Yeah, that was his friend that he killed, right? That was his childhood buddy that was with him during the whole time, and something happened, went down, because I think what happened was he fell in. Oh, I know what it was. Manny fell in love with his sister, and he told him to stay away from his sister, and they still got together anyway and got married and killed his friend. Woo, talk about cold-blooded, because he told him, leave my sister alone. So yeah, that's deep. That was heavy right there, you know. And he knew his friend would take care of his sister and be a good man to his sister or whatever, but he just could not handle the thought of his best friend banging his sister. He couldn't do it. Took him out for it. Man, that was deep. That was quite the story. I tell you, what was his name? Oliver Stone. He left us. Ooh, talk about some work. Oh, speaking of movies, oh, God, y'all know about that new film that Martin Scorsese is coming out with? Y'all had to see the preview. It's going to be on Netflix and it's coming out in theaters in October. The Irishman. Oh, people, y'all got to see that film. Y'all know it's going to be good. It's going to be good. They already saying, what's up, Felipe? They already saying, as far as the Oscars are concerned, everybody else can stop negotiating to even get the film, because this is the trifecta. This is the perfect four-way. You have Al Pacino. First, you have Martin Scorsese, doing the film. Martin Scorsese, he needed $150 million to make this film. To do this film, he needed $150 million. And it was being done with another major studio, either Universal or Paramount. I forgot which one. It's on the internet. He went to every studio he could to get this film made, and then somebody told him just casually, go to Netflix. He went to Netflix. Netflix said, fine, here's your money. He is going to put out what people are expecting to be one of the finest movies ever made in history. The hype is like this sandwich. And I'm like, okay. This is how it gives you chills with this film. This is how it gives you chills with the film. I saw the trailer and I was blown away, because the simple elegance of this trailer, it was something that just made you scream when you were done with it. There is a single bullet casing on a black background, and it's rotating through the air real slow with the smoke coming out of it, and you see the firing pin hit the middle of it. Just the name Martin Scorsese, and the bullet casing goes where the eye is in Martin. Fades away, just the bullet casing. Then it goes down, Robert De Niro, and the bullet casing goes to where the eye is in De Niro. Fades away, you still see the bullet casing, you still got the smoke. Al Pacino. Fades away, comes back up. Mind you, you still see the bullet casing, but the names are fading in and out. Then you see, what's his name? Come on. Joe Pesci. That's when everybody gets excited when they see Joe Pesci's name, because you know he said he wasn't doing any more movies. They had to ask Joe Pesci over 50 times to do this film. He said no all the time. But something convinced him to come out of retirement to do this film. And so and then finally, Harvey Keitel. And then it all fades away, and then it comes up, The Irishman. No music, no graphics other than the bullet casing. I've seen a lot of movie previews in my time, and I'm gonna tell you, for a simple of a trailer it was the best movie trailer ever. You just knew it was gonna be good. You know what? That's all you need, because whoever did that, they were paid some serious money to come up with that, because it's amazing when you look at Martin Scorsese, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Harvey Keitel. Every single one of them, they have a single letter I in their name. And to have the bullet casing go through the eye of all their names, it's going to be the ultimate gangster movie. It's oh goodness gracious. I'm going to the theaters for this one because it's going to be that good. It's going to be that good. Yes. That's going to be the film to watch. And then of course, we have Terminator Dark Fate. And I'm excited about Terminator Dark Fate because Linda Hamilton is coming back. I'm like, you know what? And James Cameron is directing this one. I'm like, wow. Because that's what it took to get her to come back to the franchise. And she was on record for saying it. She said she's not doing another one unless James Cameron is doing it. And mind you, James Cameron is working on Avatar 2. So it's like, wow, they've been planning this for a while. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens with the Star Wars film, because it's kind of like, how are they going to make sense of Palpatine coming back? Because Ian McDermott, he is confirmed to be in the film. How are they making sense of that? If you move, will you continue to channel? Yes, I will continue to channel. I will consider that. I mean, I will continue to channel. If not, I'll be doing something else. Let's just say I'll continue on YouTube. I've done well, but I'll continue it. The main thing is, the rideshare is the fascinating thing. We'll see. Y'all know. Yeah, that's it, Damien. They were former lovers. But you know, she has a loyalty to James Cameron. But when you saw that she was coming, and I'm gonna tell you, she looked fabulous in the role. She's vital to the role. She's vital to the movie. And I believe it's supposed to be coming out in October. So they may have more trailers out. I don't like the dude that's playing the new Terminator though. So Gabriel Luna is his name. Trying to figure out. And then they're saying that Edward Furlong, he's playing John Connor again. How in the world they went and got the original John Connor back? I thought he has some issues, but oh, they're doing another Maleficent I'm seeing here. There's gonna be some fascinating movies coming out this time. Very fascinating movies. When is it coming out? Oh, okay. So it says here the release date, the official release date is November 1st. So it's coming out for Halloween weekend. That's impressive. That is impressive. Let me look and see when exactly this is. It has to be a Friday or so. I want to see when is Halloween, because oh, that's gonna be a good weekend to make some money, people. October 31st is a Thursday, and then November 1st is Friday, November 2nd is Saturday, November 7th is October 31st, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then, wow, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 days of Halloween. Plus you got this. Oh goodness. Hey, if you remotely interested in making money in rideshare, It's people are gonna make a killing on those days because you've got a big movie coming out and Halloween. Folk are going to be out and the temperature's going to be comfortable too. Oh yes, that's going to be a fabulous week, a fabulous time to make money on that time. I'm going to make sure I am very well rested because I'm going to push it to the max on those days. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, okay, it's getting dark. I gotta turn this light on. All right, there we go. Ooh, November 1st. We finally got a release date on the film. Man. Edward Furlong will be back as John Connor in Terminator Dark Fate. He must have gotten in shape or something to get him back. He's older now. James Cameron had to make that happen. He's like, you know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Terminator. I remember that film when it first came out. It gave me nightmares. But I was a kid back then. But you know, one film I'm very conflicted on, and that is the new Matrix films coming out. I'm very fascinated with the new Matrix film that's supposed to be coming out because when it comes to my favorite movie of all time, it is The Matrix. That movie was amazing. I love The Matrix. So to see what they're doing with it now, what they're going to try to do with it, it's going to be very fascinating. It's going to be very fascinating to say the least. Let me see. I'm not so optimistic about the new Matrix. They contradict themselves too much. I will say this about the Matrix, though. I personally wish that they left it alone to where it is, because as far as I'm concerned, it's perfection the way it is now. And you kind of figure, okay, where could the story go from there? But the fascinating thing about it is that they had to have been working on something to continue it. They had to be working something, and you got to figure from the time the Matrix first came about back in 1990 and the early 2000s to where we are now, the one thing that will benefit the story is technology. Technology has improved in a tremendous way to where they could do some really sophisticated stuff with the thing. Smith was the film. I agree with you. Hugo Weaving did an exceptional job in that character. It was great. It was great. When you think about it, at least the first film, everyone could relate to what the first film was all about and what they were able to do with the budget they had in the beginning. Yeah, but you gotta have a great story, no matter what. I agree with you there. You know, you can do some wonderful things with a great story and have absolutely no technology behind it. There are some stories that that were told, and that they didn't use any kind of special effects or anything like that. But you know, you got to figure a story like The Matrix is going to be driven by special effects. That's just part of the deal when you're dealing with a movie like that. It's going to be driven by special effects. The first film, great story, low budget. Sequels, high budget, lousy story. They could have done. I think they could have done a better job with the story. But I'd say this: the only great thing about the Matrix sequels, when it comes down to it, is like when they did the Matrix Reloaded. That freeway chase scene was incredible. It was wonderful. Revolutions was something else. I liked it. I did. I love them. You know, I mean, out of all three of them, of course, my favorite is The Matrix. But I liked all three of them. I mean, you know, that's just me. So, let's see. Let's see. You know, it would be great for me to do it, but this isn't my vehicle, and I'm not going to go through that trouble to do that. Um, you know, right now these lights are doing the job just fine. When I had the Suburban, when I had Brutus, they had LED lights in it, and they were nice. You know, it was a nice blue, a light blue hue, super white. It was really cool. But you know, hey, this vehicle has what it has, so it's doing the job. Let me see. All right, everybody, I got 18 people in here right now. Do you want to hear anything more from me? Any other questions? Any other stuff? Otherwise, we might as well go on ahead and you know, close the door to this party and do it again another day. What do you say? I've been with y'all for 213 minutes. I feel great about that. I really do. So, but it's time to say good night for the evening and go here. Did you try the spicy? We don't. They ran out of the chicken sandwiches here at Popeyes. I was the next one in line, and they had announced that they had just sold. They were out of sandwiches, and the lady in front of me bought the last 2 sandwiches. So I wasn't too happy about that. But I'm glad I wasn't the one who got the last one, because I would have been looked at with evil eyes. One lady got into a fight because she was mad that they put pickles on her sandwich. And I'm like, if it wasn't for the fact that she had put her nasty hands all over it, I probably would have bought it from her. I said, if you don't want that sandwich, you can sell it to me right now. We can solve that problem since you're so unhappy with it. But you know, she done went through it, and you know how people fish around in their food and all like that. I'm like, lady, be happy you got a sandwich. You got 20 people out the door trying to get a sandwich, and you mad about some pickles? Take them out if you don't like them. Goodness gracious. She was making a scene over some pickles. I'm like, so what? I remember one time, the other day I went to, yesterday I was at Popeyes, put in my order for the chicken tenders, because they didn't have the sandwich, they ran out. And I said, look, I want the 3-piece chicken tenders. I wanted the platter, because they give you 2 sides with the platter. So I got the coleslaw, which I don't like, from Popeyes. I should have never ordered the coleslaw. And I got the red beans and rice, which I love. And I wanted the biscuit, which was nice and buttery. And they have this new sweet cane sugar lemonade, so I got that. And I told them I wanted the pie. Now, I didn't specify the pie. I should have said I wanted the apple pie. But instead, what she did was she gave me the peanut butter banana pie. And I did not want the peanut butter banana pie. Did I get mad about the peanut butter banana pie? No. I was thankful that I had the peanut butter banana pie, and I ate the peanut butter banana pie. Because there are some people who can't buy a peanut butter banana pie. I could have gave it away, but I didn't. I ate it. So, but still, I'm like, I'm not going to get mad at the people at Popeyes who are being paid less than I am to do their job. People are in there and they are getting mad and bent out of shape because they can't get a chicken sandwich. Big deal. If you can't get a chicken sandwich tomorrow, try again tomorrow. If you can't do that, go somewhere else and get another chicken sandwich. If I was that upset about a chicken sandwich, I could have kept on going down the street and I could have went to Wendy's and got their sandwich. If I was upset about the Wendy's sandwich, I could have went to Chick-fil-A. Or like the McDonald's manager said here, I could have went to McDonald's and got their chicken sandwich. I mean, and then the guy said, look, if you want, what we could do is we could put 3 chicken strips together, and we could put together the buns and everything. We can do it, and you can kind of pretend it's a chicken sandwich. He said that. I'm like, that's hilarious. But I was almost going to try that. But I said, nah, I want the real, the whole deal about it is that big singular piece of meat and the way it is juicy, because their chicken tenders tend to be a little on the dry side. But the chicken sandwich is just perfectly done. So, no, the meat, when you put it all together, it's totally different. It wouldn't have been the same. I can tell you that for a fact. It would not have been the same. So, that's that. That lady, I almost started recording her. Because it was ridiculous. It really was. I'm like, lady, give it a break. It's just a sandwich. So, and I said, you know what, I'll hopefully I'll be here tomorrow, and I'll see if I get one tomorrow. What I'll probably end up doing now is I'll probably end up going to Wendy's, and I'll get a chicken sandwich there and see what their chicken sandwich is like, and do that. So, in fact, am I hungry enough for it? I don't know. I might do it now. I got y'all on the live stream with me. Hope I don't get pulled over by the cops for doing this or so. It's gonna be a little dark, but because I'm only a few minutes away from that Wendy's. Let me see. Let me see where that Wendy's is. Wendys. Wendy's near me. Okay, so I have one that's half a mile away, and let's see, how long will it take me to get there? Okay. Oh, it's only 3 minutes away. Let's see. I'm currently at it's at Hawthorne and Rosecrans. I'm here. Okay. I'm 3 minutes away. Okay, so I'm 3 minutes away from Wendy's. I'm gonna go to Wendy's, and we're gonna get a crispy chicken salad, a crispy chicken sandwich from Wendy's. And we're gonna see how this rolls. So this is what I'm gonna do, so I don't get a ticket. I'm gonna put it right there. Can you see me good? Hopefully I don't lose you. And we're gonna drive to Wendy's, people. We're gonna get a chicken sandwich from Wendy's, since we can't get it from Popeyes. Love that chicken from Popeyes until you can't get one. Let me turn on the headlights here. And let me move Brutus nice and smooth here. Alright. So there we go. We're on our way. We're gonna make this happen. Woohoo! Now hopefully I don't get a ticket and pull over. Those are super fun, Alright, here we go. We're gonna get us a chicken sandwich. Let's see. We're gonna do this live. We're gonna have fun. See, here's the deal. Those of you who have stayed with me the whole time, I got 20 people. See, this is why people stay with me on these live streams, because I do crazy stuff like this during a live stream, because I can. This is freedom. I love it. I'm broke, but I'm free. But hey, you know what? It's going to be all right, because tomorrow I'm going to make great money. That's for sure. So, all right. I'm on Rosecrans right now. Alrighty, hopefully this live stream stays with it, because I don't know what the cell phone signal is like out here. Oh, you know what? I'm going the wrong way. Hawthorne is back that way. I'm sitting here going this way. I'm supposed to be going to Hawthorne. This is Doty. So, let's see. Okay. go down Doty and do this. Hopefully, because I've never been this way before. Hopefully Doty doesn't shut down on me. Let me see. All right, everybody. It's a nice neighborhood. I like it. These are nice houses. They probably want $600,000 for them. But it's nice. What's that beeping in there? Okay. Alrighty, let's see what we're going to do here. What is that beeping around? Oh, I know what it is. It's that. Okay. Okay. We done flipped around here. What street is this? This should be Prairie. Yep, this is Prairie. This is fascinating. All right, everybody. We are how far away are we from it? Oh, I did the right move. We are 3 minutes away, half a mile away. There we go. All right. I did the smart move coming this way. This is good. All right. Okay. I think this is Lawndale. Lawndale is nice. It's all right over here. This is where Lawndale and Hawthorne cross, I think. It looks nice, but there's still some sketchy looking people around here. I think y'all understand. Yeah, get hit. Just keep on driving out there and get hit. All right, we're making this happen. I hope everyone is doing good out there today. I really do. I'm doing all right. It's nighttime now. I'm a night owl type of person. I actually like driving at night. I really do. Other than the fact that traffic moves so much better and nicer, I've always just been a night person. And I think that's probably the reason why I was just sitting around doing all the talking for so long, because I really didn't want to get caught up in the traffic. See, now it's 7:48, and it's Wednesday, so traffic is moving nice and smooth. But also, this is my lightweight day, and I've already made, about $120 so far. I'm not expecting to make a lot today. I'm not trying to make a lot of money today. Tomorrow is the day I'll be trying to make a lot of money. So I'm like, okay, today I'm just gonna, take it easy and have fun. So that's why I'm doing this thing like this. I figure, hey, have some fun, enjoy yourself, enjoy life for a little bit. All right, where is Wendy's? Wendy's should be here. There we go. Brand new Wendy's too. This is the new design. And guess what? There's only a couple of people in the in the drive-through. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Wendy's wants to know how they're rolling. Okay, let's see. I should make a separate video for this. Ooh-wee. I'm not gonna even try to get that thing. Make sure I do it right. Okay, let's see what was written on here. Hey, Damien, take care. You have a good one. Oh, wow, it's 10:50. Yeah, you go ahead and go to sleep, man. I appreciate you sticking with me this long. I know you want to hang on now, but we'll see. Looks like a episode of Cops right now. You know what? It does. I have to agree with you. Good. Okay. Try the jalapeno cheddar chicken sandwich at Wendy's. I'm not a jalapeno guy, and I'm not trying to eat any cheese, man. I gotta watch stuff like that. I would have tried that. Okay. Also, look at the new Lion King. They went overboard with the realism, and as a result, the characters expressed little emotion and didn't resonate like the cartoon counterparts did in the 90s. You know what? I hate to say this, but it's the truth. I'm not interested in the Lion King. I'm I hear a lot of people talk about it and everything, but I'm just not interested in that film. Um, I, I'm not. I'm just not interested in the Lion King. Also, most films that come out now, really, I'm just not really interested in them. It takes a lot for me to go see a film because here's the deal: in this day and age, going to see a film is two things about going to films that really, actually three things that turn me off by going to films. Number one is I have to be in a room full of other people, and I just don't like that. There's a theater I go to now in Playa Vista. It's the cinema. I think it's the Cinemark or the anyway. It's a theater in Playa Vista, and I go to the reserve level. And the reserve level is great because there's only 11 people up there, and you have your own luxury seat. So I get my own thing. Let's see here. Made to Crave. Oh wow. Let's see. I go Ranch Club. Dove's Craft Lemonades. Oh my goodness. They are really working it here, people. They have.
With you, okay?
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so this is good. They got some very expressive food here at Wendy's. You know what? Okay, people, this is what I'm gonna do because I got to make this a separate video. This is good. I'm going to stop this live stream, and I'm gonna come right back with another live stream to do this right, so you can see this separately. So hopefully y'all come right back, literally in 1 minute, because I want to make this a separate video. Here we go. Come back in about a minute.